This is Aalborg in Denmark. It is the home of the Aalborg Pirates, who play host to the Sheffield Steelers tonight, and in the Continental Cup Group F, the Gigantum Ice Arena, the 59th venue that the Sheffield Steelers have played at. There's a webcast. Who knew? Welcome. Thank you for spending your Friday nights with us. We are about 10 minutes or so away from face-off. The Sheffield Steelers venture into Europe for the 11th time. And alongside me is a man who's been there with the Steelers before, Ron Shudra. Trips to Europe, always an exciting time in a player's career.
Oh, for sure. You know, there's so much more fun, I would say. It's something new you do every year, or get the opportunity to see different teams in different venues. And, you know, your domestic competitions are always great, but, you know, you get that little bit of a chance to get away and get together as a team and see what you can do. Obviously, a little bit shorthanded going into it, but then we've always been shorthanded going into Europe up against a lot of the other teams that we've been playing.
And it's a different experience because it's unfamiliar surroundings for a lot of players, and you know, referees that maybe you're not used to as well, and a different rink you maybe haven't played in before. It's got to get used to it quickly.
Well, you do. I mean, you look at the referees we have here, we have to get used to them every game. So every game's an adventure sometimes. So you have to go out and you have to sort of recognize and see where the referees are from, what country they're from. Try and kind of get a little bit of background on how the games are played in those sort of countries, and that's how they're sort of refereed. I mean, double IHF competitions, you know, they're always going to be a little bit refed a little bit less on the hitting sort of thing, maybe a little bit more on the stick work stuff and things like that. But it's something that everyone's trying to cut out of the games anyways. They don't want to see the hooking, the holding, the slashing on the hands, and you just got to go and prepare as best you can and keep yourself out of situations that you're going to not get into for penalties.
The Steelers can't afford to be short-handed tonight because they're already short-handed on the bench. We'll get the full team news now from Aaron Fox, who earlier on today caught up with David Sims.
Aaron, here we are at the hotel pre-game. You've been on the ice this morning. What can you tell us as we approach our first game in the Continental Cup?
Yeah, it's been a good trip here so far. Got in last night, had some food ready for us. Breakfast was great. I liked our pre-game skate today. I felt like guys had some jump and some bounce in their step, so we had a good skate for 20. Just had some lunch here now and have a meeting, a little coffee snack before we head over, and should be a good one tonight.
I saw you and Phoebe engrossed in conversation. I understand the news isn't all good news as far as the lineup we'll have this evening. Explain to us who's in, who's out.
Yeah, it looks like Dowdy, Valley, Ebbs all out tonight for sure, more than likely for the weekend though. So we got a thin group. Valdex will pop in and play with Jono and DeLuca there. We'll have Hodgman back with Sointu and Mosey, who were really effective there for a couple week stretch, and then we'll have Army go up and play with Cons and Lats. Grammer is our 10th forward. We'll mix in some ice for him, and we're thin, but you know, we'll come ready to play tonight, that's for sure.
You brought Andreas in only a couple of days ago. How has he settled in?
Yeah, he's looked good. 3 practices under his belt now, so you know, he looks like a player that handles the puck real well. Very, very smart player. Gets around the ice good. She'll fit right in.
And goaltending?
Yeah, Brust, you'll go tonight, and we'll go from there.
Okay, what do you know about the opponents tonight?
We've watched a couple of their games. We'll have a meeting 4:15 here before we head over and kind of go through their systems and tendencies and how we'll play against that. They're a team that skates really, really well. Very creative in the O-zone. I feel like if we pressure their D, and we should be able to put them under pressure a little bit. And I think our game is predicated on playing fast and getting pucks into the O-zone and spreading them out. And so if we do that tonight, I think it'll be a good hockey game.
You've played in this competition before with previous clubs. What's your expectations coming in?
Yeah, it's a good tournament. They've treated us very, very well here. No excuses. You know, I know we're thin tonight, but like I said, I'm a competitive guy. We're preparing all day here. We've spent the week cutting their games and trying to put a game plan together for all 3 teams. So, you know, from that point of view here, we're not here on holiday. We're here to win games and advance.
So the Steelers missing pretty much a top line, but there is one new name we can add into the Steelers lineup with Andreas Valdex. He can't wear his usual number 12 shirt. Justin Hodgman's got that, so he'll be wearing 14 tonight. But Ron, how much impact could we really expect a player to have when he's only really just joined the team?
Well, you know, Andreas Valdek's been around a long time. He's been with the club itself. you want to be doing what you can. But here we've got the lineup going on, so we'll have a little look through that.
So the team news then, as mentioned, there is no Marco Vallerand, there's no Robert Dowd, there's no Tanner Eberle. Evan Mosey is skating as a forward. It does mean then that Barry Bruss will start. Rok Stojanovic can back up. Of course, no limits on the amount of players you can have from any particular country in this. There are no non-homegrown rules in these IIHF tournaments. But it's a Steelers team that's going in with, 10 forwards and 6D against a team that looks like it's going to run 4 full lines, 7D. It looks stacked.
Well, it does. We were talking before, and I think they've got their top scorer on their 4th line as a centerman. So, going to be in some tough slogging here for what Sheffield has to do. But like Coach Fox says, they've got a game plan. They got to stick to it. They know they can't really run and gun with 3 lines going up against 4. At some point, you're going to tire out with a little bit of travel. But the guys are professional. They'll go out. They'll do it exactly what they can do to get by. Hopefully, they just suck up a lot of pressure. We've seen a lot of elite league teams come into this building and they suck up a lot of pressure and rely on the netminder to make that 1 or 2 saves and then try and jump down on the offense and try and nick something. But I think they've got more than enough capable players in the lineup to put goals past the netminder tonight. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes.
Steelers were on a really good run of form, and then the Cardiff game happened. Is a trip to Europe a great way to put that out of your mind?
Well, I think so. I think the way the teams are this year in the Elite League, you look at some of the results have gone one way on a home game, and then a total reverse on the away game. So Sheffield have been playing very, very well lately. They get a little bit of a hiccup, maybe bring them back down to earth just that little bit. They needed something to kick them in the backside to get them going again. Europe's going to be a good battleground for them to go out to and bond together and see if they can build some more momentum coming back into the domestic games.
Already been 1 game in this group already today. HK Gomel of Belarus beat Olymp Riga by 3-1. And just looking at the seeding of the teams and the way that the leagues are set up, it does kind of feel like the Steelers' opponents tonight, the Aalborg Pirates, possibly one of the weaker teams in the group. The Steelers, if they're going to progress, finish in the top 2, move through to January's final, you feel they're going to need something out of this.
Well, you want to get through. You want to get your first game under you, no matter who you're playing. You want to get out there and try and get the lead right away, and then just try and battle through and get those games. Obviously, like I said, teams have come in and traveled. The home team's always got that little bit of an advantage, with players coming in and out. But like you say, top 2, it's not far-fetched. They got to get through. They've got to work hard. They've just got to make sure that they can, round themselves up, play some good tight defense in front of the netminder, and get old Barry Bruss there to make some nice sliding kick saves like as we've seen him do in the domestic games.
Are you surprised that it's Bruss rather than Stojanovic this evening?
Well, no. I mean, Barry's been brought in as a number 1, so stick him in there and ride that horse till he doesn't want to ride anymore. So go out there and play him. Why not? He's the one that's the experienced guy. He's the one that's played in Europe an awful lot in different leagues and stuff like that. So give him a test and let's see what he can do.
Another thing the Steelers will have to contend with tonight is that home crowd.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously a little bit smaller, tighter building. They play in small, tight buildings here. Cardiff, you go in there. Manchester, when it's got some people in there, they can be very, very loud. Coventry, they're right on top of you as well. So it looks like it's going to be here, with the balcony. There's going to be a lot of noise in and around generating, and look like we're just about ready to go.
There are some Sheffield Steelers supporters in the building as well. We've already heard them in good voice already. And the teams are getting ready for the start of this game. The Steelers are in the road whites with orange, and it's the Aalborg Pirates in the red and black. So a quick run through then of the Sheffield Steelers lines for this evening. It'll be a top line of Mosey, Hodgman and Sointu, a second line of Latal, Connolly and Armstrong, and a third unit of DeLuca, Phillips and Valdix. Alex Graham will ice as the 10th forward. No change to the regular defensive pairings then. It's going to be Dane Todd with Adrian Saxrud-Danielson, David Phillips with Kevin Schultz, and Sam Jones with Keaton Ellaby. Over on the Aalborg side of things, their starting netminder is George Sorensen. They have a top line of Kirill Kabanov, Jeppe Juhl Korsgaard and Julian Jakobsen. Second line of Patrick Bjorkstrand, Thomas Spelling and Johan Skinners. And a third line of Stephen Anderson, Pierre-Olivier Morin and Martin Højbjerg. Fourth line, Jonas Jakobsen, Mikael Højbjerg and Tobias Lederhoff. If you recognise some of those names, it's because the Steelers played Aalborg back in pre-season, August 2016. And the Steelers won both of those games. They won 4-1, they won 5-1. The last Steelers player to score against Aalborg, Andreas Valdix.
Well, there you go. A good omen for tonight's game. We'll see if Andreas Valix can come out and show exactly what he's got. You heard Fox talk about it. A bit silky smooth and good hands in around the net, and a very, very talented player.
Our referees tonight are German Benjamin Hopper and Andreas Huber. Our linesmen are Danish Emil Dalsgaard and Andreas Kreuer. Continental Cup Group F. Is it the group of death or just the group of F? We will find out. We are ready for game action. First face-off comes back the way of the Sheffield Steelers. And no surprise that it's Justin Hodgman who wins it for the Steelers. He is really been the Steelers' sort of only reliable centre over the last few weeks, as players have been in and out of the lineup through injury. They've been without Armstrong. Of course, they've been without Connolly for times. Alexuk left the team earlier this season, but Hodgman has been that one consistent factor. And here's Mosey taking the shot on the first save, coming in from the blocker of Sorensen. Sointu tries to win it for Mosey across towards the far side. It is Hodgman. Positive start from the Steelers, looking to spend time in that offensive zone. Always important to set the tempo in these games early. Steelers never really got going against the Devils and paid the price for it. Back into the offensive zone once more. Hodgman needs a little bit of support. He'll just have to send it behind the goal and hope Sakshu Danielson can do that, but he's got players either side of him. And possession loss, and the Steelers will have to go back into the neutral zone and try and defend the first venture up the ice from the Pirates.
Very good positive start there from Sheffield. Good offensive zone pressure time. A little bit of an opportunity in on the net.
David Phillips will take that one in front of Barry Brust. Try and clear it up the boards, but it takes a deflection back. Brust is out to play it, as he likes to do. Extra dimension to a team's play when a netminder is confident in playing the puck and can keep things moving.
Oh, for sure. You know, you get netminders that are very, very good at moving the puck, and they are their third defenseman out there. They can keep a heads up, and a little bit of a disjointed.
Well, we got a penalty being called here. Like Sorensen was on his way to the bench, and we're going to get a penalty against the Sheffield Steelers for a high sticking call. So we spoke earlier about the need to stay disciplined. Penalty inside the first 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, that's something that you don't want. We've just had a little bit of opportunities down in the offensive zone and trying to build a little bit of momentum into the first period, and now this is something that they don't want. But again, you know, the high sticking thing is something that's a little bit accidental. Clips them a little bit high, but they need to win the faceoff is what they do. And
so it's Martin Lattal who sits in the penalty box. It's Aalborg who go on to the power play.
Well, a good opportunity early, I guess, to see what Aalborg's power play is all about, to see how good. We know Sheffield's penalty killing is very, very good, so they work hard at it. They have the opportunity, obviously, in normal domestic, but we'll see what the setup is for Aalborg.
So first opportunity then for the host team, and it's Skinnars who plays it behind the goal. Looking to get this power play unit set up, a 5-on-4 situation in favour of the home side. Steelers penalty kill a little up and down at times this season. It's had some good moments, it's had some poorer ones. They've got an early test in this one. Conti thinking about the shot from the blue line, instead will move it near side. Then looking for the backdoor play, and it was well broken up by Keaton Ellaby. Yeah,
pretty standard power play, looking at 1-3-1. A lot of stuff that we see here with a lot of the teams. Maybe their defensemen up top, they're a little bit more active coming in and out, and then again, normal little regroup through the neutral zone.
Puck carried forward a long way by Kirinov, and the save made by Brust. Emil Kabanov, the Russian, the lone Russian in this Danish side. Expect him to be at the front and centre of a lot of what Aalborg do well. You can see that he's got a direct route for goal, slicing through, and Brust needed to be there.
Yeah, Brust is big and strong, and he gets there, and it looks like just gets a shoulder on it. As the Aalborg forward sort of dances through the penalty kill that was set up from Sheffield.
First minute of the power play has elapsed. Still more work for the Steelers penalty kill unit to do. Here is Kabanov. Look at those hands, he's trying to move through. He got checked down.
And another penalty coming up. It's going to be 5-on-3 against Sheffield. Looked as though it was backdoor play, a tripping penalty possibly coming in. An interference call, so Really putting Sheffield on into the hot seat right now.
And again, it was Kirill Kabanov. Steelers had a warning earlier. And they've been made to pay again. Another trip to the penalty box. This time it is Dane Todd joining Martin Lattel on the naughty step.
Yeah, definitely something you don't want to be doing here inside the first 5 minutes, going down 5-on-3. But we did say you got to pay attention. But penalties are penalties. If you're not giving a referee an option not to call something like that.
Jakobsen won the draw. Bjorkstrand moves it along. They're going to work it down low. Then it comes back out. Bjorkstrand with the shot. Brust with the save. It drops in front of him. He couldn't get it covered, but he had defensive support. Back out with Patrick Bjorkstrand. Looking for that backdoor play. Brust was down. The puck is still live at the side of the goal, and the Steelers only got 3 players out there. They'll get Lattel back in 10 seconds. Bjorkstrand moves in and snaps it just wide.
Yeah, he was looking for that top side on the blocker and misses the net. Good job by Sheffield there, just sort of getting a lot tighter after a good opening opportunity. Barry Brust doing what he has to do. The best penalty killer on a 5-on-3 as Lattel now gets themselves out of the box.
So back to a 5-on-4 situation, and the Steelers get a little bit of possession, and Lattel should be fresh, and he should be able to buy the Steelers a little bit of territory. His shot takes a deflection and will find its way back to him in the corner, and he's got 3 players for company. Tried to keep hold of it for as long as he could. And he's Kabanov again. Aalborg looking to get this play set up. 5-on-4. Here's Moran. Just all to the outside at the moment. Going to take the one-timer. They do. It got partially blocked in front, and the Steelers first onto it to backhand it away. And you can see the Danes want to get it forward quickly and make the most of this remaining power play time.
Yeah, Davey Phillips giving up the body there on a backdoor one-timer play and does just enough to get that zone cleared, but Aalborg netminder bringing it back.
Looking for the shot high on Brust. It came in from Ladderhoff. Picked back up by Koch. Moving through is Moran. Then turned away. Still Moran goes down low. They try and backhand it through the slot. Will it get out of the zone? It will. The Steelers get a little bit of a break, and they'll get Dane Todd back in 5 seconds. There's still more work for this penalty kill unit to do, but an interception there and one more clearance should do it. And that is a huge boost to the Steelers. Back-to-back penalty kills, including a short period of 5-on-3, and they have survived them both.
Yeah, a couple of ill-advised passes there, a little bit of backhand sauce pass into the Sheffield box, which gets knocked down, and looks like we're going to get an offside call here.
And it's a disappointment for the Steelers, having had such a good first couple of shifts with play in the offensive zone, that they've not been able to sort of build on that. They've been forced back into their own zone by their own indiscipline.
Well, I think so, but you look at Aalborg as well. They've had a 5-on-3. They've had their top guys on the lineup. They've not actually got their whole team in the game yet. Sheffield have rolled through probably 12 players so far. For the most part, even on the penalty killers, they've got their 3 sort of sets and all the D play. So off to the races they go.
Sakshu Danielson leads the charge. Tried to spin and shoot, couldn't manage it. Jonathan Phillips will take over. DeLuca has been checked down. Sakshu Danielson has spent more time as the furthest Steeler player forward rather than in defence. Here's Valdix. Unfamiliar 14 shirt, but we'll soon get used to it again. Sakshu Danielson back up the wall, and Steelers can't keep it in the zone. Valdix will have to retreat. Aalborg looking to make a couple of changes on the fly. They're rolling a full 4 lines tonight of forwards potentially. The Steelers with just 10 available. Todd stepping forward and intercepting and manoeuvring through into the offensive zone, but he couldn't take it any further. DeLuca going in hard on the forecheck.
He had to maneuver around 5 Aalborg players coming off the bunch as well. Very, very lucky and unfortunate. Not too many men on the ice as the players haven't cleared the ice and pretty much getting in the way of the player coming up the ice. Jakobsen
sends the puck down. It'll be reached in the corner by Aalborg, and they'll work it back up to the blue line. It's a little bit tight along the wall for Curti. It's all on this near side, and then it does get down the boards and out, and the Steelers will go chasing after it. Sointu, what an impression he's made in Steelers colours. Short time with the club, but he's been in amongst the goals and man of the match awards as that puck goes out of play. An excellent pickup for Aaron Fox.
Oh, fantastic pickup, and settled in pretty much from the get-go. I think he only came in with 1 or 2 practices sort of thing before he went into the weekend games, and took him sort of one weekend to get going, and all of a sudden the goals started piling in for him. So excellent maneuver and excellent, as you said, pickup here. And hopefully we can get Andres Valdix as a nice little pickup for this weekend as well and see what happens. But nice to see that guy out on the face-off. Big John Armstrong here. Big player for Sheffield in the past and hopefully in this future for this season.
So coming up on 7 minutes and still waiting for the first really good effort on goal. There've been time on the power play for Aalborg, but nothing that really stretched Barry Brust too much, as Armstrong is trying to make himself a little bit of a nuisance and put the pressure on Carstensen. Højbjerg goes back. The Danes will find their way out down the left wing side. They'll just send it around the boards. Puck will be reached by Martin Højbjerg. Trying to manoeuvre towards the centre of the ice. The Steelers block that up. Jones was getting in that shooting lane. Puck sent towards the near side, and that was a little bit aimless. Possession back with the Steelers. Armstrong again. A little bit of a miscommunication as the puck bounces off the skates of Lattel. There's Armstrong across the line now. Oh, and then it bounces unfavourably, this time off Connolly. And back the other way goes Bjorkstrand. Steelers there to meet him and get the puck back out of the zone. Nielsen going D to D. They send one in, and it's wide of Brust's goal. He just watched it on its way. Didn't need to make a save. Todd trying to get a partial intercept in. It's still with Aalborg. Puck will go behind the back of the goal. It'll be picked up by Bjorkstrand. Seen plenty of the puck in this early stages. Held by that power play time. Again, the puck miscontrolled and down the ice, and the Steelers will be happy to see that.
Yeah, definitely. They're weathering a storm. Like we said, you need your netminder to come up and make a few saves. Barry Brust has done that on the 5-on-3 and a little bit after the fact. But bobbly puck here and there. You got to make sure you've got it under control. As you can see, it's still rolling about for everybody.
DeLuca trying to cut back and keep hold of it. Tries to get the puck in deep. Doesn't quite work out. The defence was back there for Aalborg, and now they'll skate it away, and they move smoothly. Aaron Fox mentioned pre-game that they're a good skating team. Well, it's not often you head into European competitions and find a team that doesn't skate so well. That puck is caught underneath Højbjerg. If you're wondering, there are two Højbjergs. They are twins. Mikkel, 45, and Martin, 58. David Phillips lost the puck and tried his best not to give away a holding penalty, and he did so. And now the Steelers can venture forward. Valdix's pass didn't have enough on it and never reached Sointu. Here's Ellaby. Not eligible to play in his next two Elite League games, but he can take part in the Continental Cup for the Steelers this weekend. His 2-game suspension is domestic only. Here is Keaton Ellaby trying to feed it across. It bounced off the defenseman in front, and no one for the Steelers there. And now they've got to hurry back. There's a little bit of a 2-on-1 developing. Puck played across. It's all a little bit tied up, and it couldn't be swept in. It nearly fell favourably for Kabanoff. As the puck was bouncing around off skates and sticks just in front of Barry Brust. It's a promising looking venture forward, but it didn't result in a shot on goal for Aalborg.
Yeah, it all starts at the offensive blue line. Ellaby goes in deep. Nobody backing him up, and 4 players committed to the offense. And Aalborg just getting that turnover they needed near the blue line and getting that opportunity 2-on-1. But give Ellaby credit.
Good poke out of the zone, gets a 2-on-1 developing for the Steelers. Can they get it across to Connolly? They can't. Armstrong steps in, and it's a really good save from Sorensen. It's the best moment of the game for the Sheffield Steelers as a 2-on-1 develops, and then the third player on the trail. Here's Connolly. Switching it across. Todd back through. Connolly. Save made. Sorensen again.
And then Armstrong as well. Another save on the rebound. As Sheffield's pepper the Aalborg netminder here. He saw how quick they can turn the defense into offense, and all of a sudden 3 great opportunities. Aalborg defend well.
Højbjerg under pressure from Connolly. Aalborg will just flip this one in. They want to get a defensive change in. They were worked hard by the Steelers on that last shift. So they just want to play it out of the zone. Can't manage it. It was all a bit tangled up in front of the Steelers bench for a moment. Jonathan Phillips sends it forward, and it bounces away past DeLuca. Possession back with the Steelers. 3 big chances in quick succession. George Sorensen was equal to all of them. That's why we're still scoreless here in the first period. Puck sent across, but not met on the far side, and the Steelers will look to break out. Trying to use their speed. DeLuca Can he get there ahead of Nielsen? Now Cartensen right on top of him. Support's arriving. Still with DeLuca, and then it just slides away from him, and now the Steelers have got to hustle back. Jones putting the pressure on Jakobsen. Puck around to the near side. Won back by Hodgman and taken forward by Ellaby. And still going Keaton Ellaby. And still. Then plays it towards Mosey, and it was just a little bit tight. It bounced off Mosey's skates and got away from him a little too far.
Yeah, how many times have we seen that? A nice little rush up the ice, defensive defenseman going up the ice. Won't say defensive defenseman. And then making that little sort of backhand pass into a lot of traffic in front of that. You got one player surrounded by four, so very, very high risk maneuver that usually doesn't pay off. Better off just go behind the net, cycle, try and set it up, get yourself in there, get your forwards back into the play, and maybe get yourself reset for an opportunity yourself coming back in as a ghost player coming through the high slot.
Steelers will take possession again at centre ice. Connolly spins away. Steelers get the puck in deep, and the forecheckers go in on the chase.
This is what Sheffield wants to do. They want to get the puck in deep. They want to get in there and hound the heck out of Aalborg at the minute, and they're having all sorts of trouble.
Now they've got to hustle back. There are three up in this one. Kavanaugh across to the far side. The support is arriving. Here's an opportunity. Oh, and it's come off the goalpost. Huge chance for the hosts, and they couldn't have come any closer. There's still danger for the Steelers. Still possession here with Korsgaard. The shot comes in and Brush gets a blocker on it, and the Steelers get it away, and they'll get a little breather.
Yeah, it was the fourth man coming up in the play. And Aalborg was very, very good. They made the play out wide, and they saw him coming in late as a Sheffield player over back checked, and Barry Brust had over slid as well and left a huge wide open net, but unfortunately Aalborg could not put it past the post.
Schultz needs to try and get this one away. Doesn't manage it. Aalborg keep it in the zone for a little bit longer. Steelers with chances at one end, and then the game swings, and Aalborg hit the post. And we're still waiting for that opening goal. Steelers have it, and they'll play it back out towards Schultz. A little tight for a shot. He'll move it left wing side. Fed across and out the other side. Schultz again. Again, the Steelers look to work it into the corner. DeLuca, Cartensen comes out into the slot, and Aalborg don't get it clear, and Phillips couldn't quite wrap it in. Fell nicely for the Steelers captain, and he got a shot on goal, but couldn't get it past Sorensen's pads.
Yeah, it's a bouncing puck again. Just bounces over the defenseman's stick there, and Phillips is right on the spot to get the opportunity. But again, back and forward we go through the whole game. This is a great opportunity to see some wide open play. Lots of chances going in at both ends.
And a long time without a whistle. Not been particularly stop-start in this game. Bruss needs to make a save. That one popped up off the skates of Mosey. Sent behind the goal by Bjorkstrand. Spelling will try and get it on the near side. Can't manage it. And Hodgman gets the Steelers moving forward. He'll take the play back again. Trying to move inside. It's all a little bit tight, but it's still with Hodgman. Looking back door for Mosey, and he put it back across the face of goal and wide.
Yeah, you look at some of the opportunities for both teams. Very, very good chances down in and around the nets, and just that final touch has been lacking so far, but it looks as though we're going to open this game up soon here.
Bush with a little bit of a pad on that one, and now the Steelers will break clear. Latau. Going to get it towards Sointu, doesn't quite make it. Doesn't look as though the puck is sliding particularly easily along the boards. Quite choppy. We've seen a few pucks bouncing. It's more noticeable, particularly over on that far side. And we're going to get a stoppage in play here. That will bring play back down the ice. 4:30 remaining. But both sides could feel that they should be ahead in this game.
Well, for sure. You know, you have the post at the one end and some great opportunities. Three right in succession, I think, was Conley and Armstrong. Armstrong just absolutely teased one up from there. Probably didn't realize that he had an awful lot of a nice lane going right to the net. Had more time than he thought. Probably just wanted to rifle it through the netminder as opposed to trying to do something cute that early. But the post saved Sheffield on the counter attack, with Brust having to come up big as well. So 5-on-3 is killed off. The opportunity for Sheffield to get back in the game with some offensive chances of their own, and they do a good job on that.
Here's Jakobsen. Sends it towards Brust. It gets blocked by the crowd in front. The Steelers go glassing out. Sends Cartensen back. Jakobsen. Kavanaugh. Forward for Jeppe Juhl Korsgaard. Back across, oh, and the puck just got away from Aalborg at the last moment, and the Steelers will look to counter with speed. Connolly. Support on the far side. The Steelers switch it back across towards Schultz, and the back checking of Korsgaard just made his life difficult.
A little ambitious there. Try to do maybe 1-2 passes too many. Connolly uses the net drive as an opportunity to find the back door, but maybe a shot should have been taken from there.
But carried back into the offensive zone by Aalborg. They've worked it away from the wall. Shot coming through from the point, again takes a deflection, goes to the corner. Look, he's at the side of the goal, and the Steelers manage the situation well. They are getting plenty of bodies back around the crease and dealing with anything that goes towards Barry Bruss. There's lots of blocks in front, and they've so far been first to all the loose pucks as well.
Well, that's the main thing, is collapsing in front of your netminder and then your puck retrieval after the fact. So Sheffield have done a good job. The breakouts on the boards have been very, very good for Sheffield as well, as they get through the neutral zone again with some decent speed. A little bit of bobbly puck, but again, they put one into a crowd and just take it down the boards and keep possession of it.
Spelling trying to centre it across. Bruss is across, and he'll swallow that one. He'll keep it between the pads. You can see the attacking speed that both teams have. It's what you'd expect. Both of these teams are top of their domestic leagues.
Well, that's exactly it. Sheffield a little bit guilty of turning pucks over and then getting caught. The Aalborg defensemen are getting up in the play. That's the second 4-on-2 with the fourth player is the one getting the opportunity. Obviously, that time it goes backdoor and tries to catch Bruss. Maybe a little bit too aggressive, but Bruss read the situation well, tracked the puck well, and used the big body to slide across and get a hold of the puck, and no rebound.
Face-off win for the Steelers as they look to clear their own defensive zone, and they should be able to. Kicked forward by Saksrud Danielson, who decides against chasing the puck in deep. Sorensen will swing it round to the far side. It will stay in the zone. Steelers look to get a deflection on it. Falls for DeLuca. Little pocket of space to snap one and score! Anthony DeLuca has fired one in past Sorensen, and the opening goal of the game has gone to the Sheffield Steelers.
Yeah, Anthony DeLuca. How many times have we seen that snap little wrist shot that he has? He has a very, very quick release. And here it's just a bit of a turnover. It's nothing too serious, but look where the shot comes from there. And look at that, straight up and over the glove. Definitely unsighted as they go to the net. The two players out in front, but Anthony DeLuca, nice follow-through wrist shot up in the top part of the net, but give Aalborg credit. They've had an awful lot of chances at the other end. Barry Bruss standing tall. A couple of, like I said, 4-on-2s and a post. Sheffield a couple of decent interchanges down low, but Sorensen can't get a hold of that one as looks to go down a little bit early maybe, and DeLuca just rolls the wrist and snap it upstairs.
Steelers' previous chances in this game had been a little more around the crease. That was the first time a player had space at the top of the circle. Good shooting position. He had a chance to line it up, and he made no mistake. It's his 8th goal in all competitions for the Steelers this season, and it puts them one in front in their opening game of Group F in the Continental Cup. This is essentially the semi-final stage. The top 2 teams in this group of 4 will go through to January's final. Aalborg looking for a response, and Bruss will make the save deep in his crease.
Again, Barry Bruss does a good job tracking the puck from side to side. Aalborg again dangerous on the attack, and this little 3-on-2 yet again, a little odd man rush. There you see Barry Bruss tracks it across well, and again, one thing Barry Bruss has been done well in this game here is not give up a rebound as the Aalborg players are filtering themselves back towards the net off any shot, seeing if there is anything as they lose the draw clean.
Aalborg looking for a response late in this period. They'll be stung by going behind at home. They're not used to trailing. Top of their domestic league, a couple of points clear. They're looking to respond back here with a backhand shot that the Steelers deflect away. Ellaby clears it away down the wall. The puck's not sliding as fast as the Steelers want it to late in the period. It is choppy out there, but they're here with Connolly. Sends it forward, and it was just a little too far out of the reach of Armstrong. Latal. Armstrong has it back. Up the wall, and then back into the corner. Steelers are going to make this Aalborg defence work hard all game. Only assist on DeLuca's goal was awarded to Dane Todd. Even strength, 17-31. There's a minute left of this first period. Sakshu Danielson just turns away from the pressure. Now needs a little bit of support in that corner. Gets it. The Steelers still have work to do. Taken over the line by Morin. And now the puck finds its way to Sointu. What a boost another one would be for the Steelers. Sent goalwards and deflected away to the corner. Sointu tries to pick up on the bouncing puck. It's a bit too far ahead of him. Steelers trying to lift a stick and pinch it back. It's not quite going to happen, as we're into the final shift of this first period. Puck carried forward by Højbjerg. Skates into traffic. Todd can't quite get it away. Needs a little bit of help. The Steelers get it into neutral ice. Important last few seconds. There might be an opportunity here. Puck forced wide, and Brust will just come out and cover up, and he doesn't want anybody anywhere near him.
No, and Sheffield do very, very good. They collapse in tight there to protect the netminder. He comes out. A little bit of a talking to from the referees there as well as they come in. They have a little bit of a chop on the hands. But Sheffield doing what they need to do here. Just collapse here. Under 10 seconds to go here, first period. You want to get anything other than a straight loss on the faceoff. So a tie or better here. Get the puck into the corner and try and work it there and keep it out from the danger areas, which what they do.
Clean win from Valdex. A clearance from the Steelers. And it will mean that they will head to the intermission. A goal in front. The only goal so far scored by Anthony DeLuca. Past George Sorensen into the top corner at 17:31, and the Sheffield Steelers have reward for their efforts in the first period. It was not all plain sailing for the Steelers. They had a couple of penalties to kill, including a period of 5-on-3, but they managed to survive it without too much major alarm. We'll be able to take a look back at some of the best moments then from this first period. I say the Steelers with just a little penalty killing to do. Really, given it was just about 3 minutes of power play, there weren't too many clear-cut chances.
No, there wasn't. They had a couple of good opportunities from backdoor, but that was their couple of best opportunities, one after the other. The goalpost and then the puck retrieval and walking through the high slot there. We've seen that from Valorant popping off on the power play and coming through there. And then another one on the back door. Again, another outnumbered situation on a rush, a 4-on-2 and a 4-on-2. And one goalpost, and Barry Brust on the back door had to do something very, very good and athletic to get himself across there.
So the puck will find itself with Anthony DeLuca. Skates forward, picks his spot, and snaps it in. You can see how much he's delighted by that.
Well, he was another player we were saying about 2 or 3 weeks ago, saying needed to get something going to get himself on track a little bit. And all of a sudden he starts scoring some goals, and that's exactly what's good for him. So there you see Barry Brust doing exactly what he needs to do later on in the period.
And he's sort of been a calming influence back there. There's sort of not been too much chaos around the crease, but he has been well protected.
He has, and this is it right there. You can see the players going to the net, and then exactly that. Anything where he's outside of the crease, you got the guys coming in and doing exactly what they need to do. No, not allowing any second chances. They don't have the rebounds that are bouncing out in front of them. Barry's done a good job controlling that, keeping that in tight. So they're not having to do a lot of work. Aalborg not really crashing the net. That was about the biggest opportunity that they had there, crashing the net, and Brust was 2-3 feet outside the crease, hand down on it, and you see Sheffield with 3 players in front just boxing out and keep him to the outside.
European competition, but no real change of style for the Steelers. We're still seeing the defensemen getting involved. Sakshu Danielson well forward. Keaton Ellaby, who's generally not much amongst the points, also getting involved, skating, carrying the puck in deep.
Well, that's what you want to do. I mean, if you're a little bit light, remember they're a little bit light on the top or on the front end. Missing 3 players up front. So maybe you need your defense just to activate a little bit more. You've got 6 back there. Mosey can play back. So if there is something that can happen, obviously you got Alex Graham still out there that didn't get any ice in the first period, but that doesn't mean he's not going to get anything through the tournament as the players get on and get tired. So Valdex did a good job on the draws, a couple of draws that he has, but seeing the defenseman go up in the rush and then hopefully they're not getting caught, and that's the problem when you get defensemen going up too much and getting stuck behind the net. Sometimes forwards get a little bit over creative and they drop down, and then you end up with those odd man rushes. And we've seen 3-on-2s, 4-on-2s. We've had the 2-on-1 as well, I think it was. So a couple of odd man things. I'm sure Aaron Fox will try to go over in between the intermissions. Just say, good job going down there, because when they're on the attack, you can see that they do have the opportunity. Both sets of forwards are very, very good. They're going to the net and they're creative. So it looks as though that this the second and third period, if it stays like this, is going to be a good up and down the game.
A good start for the Sheffield Steelers, but still 40 minutes to go and plenty of work left to do. We're going to take a short break now in our coverage. We'll be back with you in a few minutes' time as we get ready for the second period of this game. Through 20 minutes, it's the Steelers leading the Pirates by 1-0. You wait 4.5 months for a game of hockey, and then two come along at once. A pair of fixtures this weekend, and Ice Sheffield is packed out to see the 11 new faces and 12 returning champions. It's a squad that looks strong on paper and strong on elite prospects. These games tonight and tomorrow will give everyone an early impression of how good they are on the ice. Irvins Mustakovs is back in goal after a 5-year absence, and last year's Swedish contingent worked out so well, Paul Thompson has been out and picked up 4 more. Christopher Bjorklund, Andreas Valdix and Marcus Nielsen on the roster, and Jerry Anderson coaching from the bench. It's been 1,000 years since the Danes invaded England, and this weekend they're back, in friendlier circumstances this time, and in the form of Pirates rather than Vikings. Aalborg are a young, talented team, and the only one the Steelers will get to face before their Champions Hockey League campaign begins in Jönköping in 5 days' time. Mosienko win the draw. Franson back with Mosienko. Davien tries to turn it inside to Schultz. It'll work out for Franson, who can hit it through a screen just wide. The keeper's out of position, and the Steelers have made them pay. The shot into the crowd, and Kemener lost all sight of it. And the Steelers have the opening goal inside the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a wild shot from the point there. I think it's Mosey ends up putting it in. Good face-off win, gets it back to the point. Pucks to nets, look like it's the plan early in the season, so pays off there early in the game. Ooh. Ice looks a bit rough down in this end.
Yeah, just took a little bobble over there on the far side. And again, another pass that goes astray. This is Ehlers. He gets no further. Bjorklund, he's made a strong start. Steelers just about get the line change right. Bill Adson's shot, and the Moose's first save. Steelers making a line change as Aalborg begin their breakout. Reddick with the long pass, and it was just a little bit too long. Couldn't find Ehlers. And another pass goes astray. Ratchuk carries it forward.
Another smooth scale.
Oh, and finished superbly by Nelson. Made by Ratchuk and finished by Nelson. And the Steelers are off to a great start.
That was a great play.
And there's not a lot to shoot at there. Kemener has got that near side covered. It's the only place that Nelson can go.
Oh, he's got a great snapshot. Levi gets it up quick, so that was a very dangerous play.
And now Wah. A little bit more room left wing side. Room very quickly taken away, overmarked. Across. We've got our first penalty, and we got a little bit of rough stuff in the corner. Fretter has dropped the gloves.
Oh, he's ready.
And Lasse Bo Knudsen really wasn't interested.
I don't blame him. Fretz is an animal.
Shot takes a deflection, and Moose is in a little bit of trouble here. He reaches out to get a block on it, and he finally gets it covered up. That was all just a little bit awkward.
Yeah. Even still, you know, I don't know. It looks like he doesn't care that the puck's right by his net, and everybody else is flying back to help, and Moose just looks kind of in control. Like.
It's quite a changed team, this Aalborg side, from last year. They lost in the quarterfinals. All 3 of their top scorers have left. 7 of their top 10 scorers no longer with the side.
It's tough to replace.
There's Valdix. Steelers moving it well. This is dangerous.
Nice
round the crease. Oh, and the net comes loose as Bjorklund went across the face of goal.
I think the thing that stands out here is the transition of the Steelers. They're absolutely flying, moving the puck up quick through the neutral zone, creating chances every time they come forward.
Fretter trying to feed it across to Ratchuk. It will just cross the blue line. Remember, more reactions for you from the Steelers at the end of the second period. Armstrong
pays the price with a big hit, and then Ratchuk comes climbing in. And there's a reason that you don't call these games friendlies.
That's a good sign.
It's Mikel Højbjerg at the bottom of the pile. And Overmars who takes the tumble.
That's a good sign. It's a great sign.
Good skating from Korsgaard. Bo Knudsen, shot goes wide, and they'll take a big bounce off the boards. That's a feature of Ice Sheffield. And here comes Fretter. Wow, alongside him. Fretter's doing it all himself, and he draws Kemener into the save, and he's drawn a penalty.
Are they going to go this time? Nope.
Fresh defensive four out for Aalborg. Steelers gain the zone right wing side. Nelson. Fransson called for it. Fredriksson had it covered. Ratchuk gives it back. Valdic shoots. There's a rebound. There's a tap in, and it's scored. It's easy for Fransson, and it's a power play goal for the Steelers.
Good simple play, just getting the puck to the net at the right time. Low to high, it's great.
Björklund. Fitzgerald again. Ambitious pass, and was fairly comfortably intercepted in the end by Korsgaard.
Good chance there.
Korsgaard, shooting chance, taken! The Danes have found something from Lasse Jul Korsgaard.
It's unfortunate, Steelers have played a good game, limiting chances, and just a turnover there and got caught a little bit. Maybe tired legs, I don't know, end of a game. A nice play though.
Even when the action ends, don't leave us. We'll have all the post-match reaction for you live here on Steelers TV. Shot from Saric is blocked.
I would go with Björklund or Nielsen too. Solid.
Well, Nielsen's piece of penalty killing is the single most impressive aspect of the game.
Yeah. All-round game, I'd say.
Oh, empty net. It's going to go all the way in. I'm not sure if Nielsen got a touch or not. It doesn't matter. The Steelers have a fourth, and they're going to win this game for sure. But it's a performance and a victory that the Sheffield Steelers can be very proud of. They've beaten the Aalborg Pirates by 4 goals to 1.
Good showing. Good game.
So it is Levi Nelson who is the first Steelers man of the match for the 16-17 season.
Had a good game.
And here we go, the first Eddie of the season. And Levi is an old hand at this now.
Oh, he loves it.
You can't waste all your tricks in pre-season.
Oh, that's a good one. Should have kept that one.
It's 20 degrees and bright sunshine on a summer's afternoon. What better place to be than indoors watching hockey?
We'll have to leave those highlights for another time. Isn't it nice to see the Steelers in black shorts? A reminder of how things used to be. It's only 5 years, but my, how things have changed. And my, how things could still change in this game. 40 minutes. Both teams have had chances. Aalborg have hit the post. The Steelers have had a scramble, but they do have the only goal through Anthony DeLuca. And you'd expect a home team in front of its own fans to come out hot in the second period and give the fans something to get off their feet.
Well, I think so. I mean, you look at the chances that they had as you see Steelers come onto the ice now. The opportunities they had in the first 3-4 minutes. You know, the 5-on-3 was a big chance for them to get the early lead, and maybe the game would have changed just a little bit. Maybe Sheffield would have had to push a little bit more. Although, you know, like I said, we saw some quite a few odd man rushes, more so against Sheffield than you did against Aalborg. So Sheffield just need to tighten up, and like I said before we went to intermission, that I'm sure Aaron Fox kind of picked up that as well. He'll be, he's a very knowledgeable guy. He knows exactly what he needs to do and what he can see out on the ice, and I'm sure he's had a little word just to say to the guys, make sure pucks get deep, and a couple of turnovers, as I said, when you're down below the goal line and you're just popping pucks back out into that low slot area just above the crease. You look at what happens on a defensive system, and everybody funnels back to the net anyways. So you're trying to put a puck in amongst 4 or 5 players, and you're the only one in there unless you're 100% sure. Just keep control of the puck. You've got everybody come back to that house. Why don't you spread it back out again, keep control, do a little bit of a cycle, maybe move it back to the point and across, and it gives you that opportunity to stretch it back out and maybe get a better opportunity.
A reminder of the score line from earlier. The other game in this group, Gomel of Belarus beat Olymp of Latvia by 3-1. This is Group F. Over in Group E, Poprad beat Asiago by 3-1. And Krakow are currently 2-0 down against Karaganda of Kazakhstan. Only the top 2 teams from Group E and Group F will meet in the final. First weekend of January, 7th, 8th and 9th. The Steelers would love to be there. They've made it to the final before, but they have yet to win this trophy. The Nottingham Panthers, the only team from the UK to have won the Continental Cup, and the Sheffield Steelers never quite like it when the Panthers have done something that the Steelers haven't.
Well, Nottingham had a very, very good team that year. They struggled a little bit when they come back from it, but they went over there with all guns blazing, and they did very, very well to come home with that championship. I'm not gonna blow too much smoke up them because it is Nottingham, but you have to give a little bit of credit going into it and winning that tournament. It's not an easy tournament to win, to get through, to get to the final. There's some very, very good teams that you've got to beat.
Even strength then at the start of the second period. Jakobsen preparing to face off against Hodgman. Possession will come back the way of the Sheffield Steelers from the opening draw. Evan Mosey into the offensive zone. Can't get it back towards Hodgman. It's important that the Steelers get off to a good start in this period. They don't want to give away the advantage that they've got. Get back into the game, get settled again. A couple of positive shifts to start with.
Yeah, definitely. Nice to see Todd there just pinching down the wall as well. Just trying to keep the puck down deep in Aalborg zone. Sheffield did a good job here. It looked like they're trying to cut the ice in half. And that's exactly what they're doing, force them into one side or the other.
Jakobsen carries it forward. Now Yul Korsgaard. So his brother scoring on the highlights a few years ago during the intermission. Steelers get no further than the blue line. Aalborg into the offensive zone over on the far side. Todd prevents it getting through to Brust. Picked right up by Kabanoff. Back down the wall, and it'll emerge with the Sheffield Steelers. It'll try and break into the zone, try and create a 2-on-1. Puck is across, there's an opportunity, and it wasn't quite there for Lattal.
Yeah, Lattal just getting up there as quick as he could. Aaron or Conley just trying to do what he could to try and slow the attack down, just to create a 2-on-1, and just doesn't quite come off for him.
Armstrong holding onto the puck for as long as he can. He's so difficult to knock off when he A-frames. It's difficult to shift, and so many parts of his game. We maybe haven't seen the best of John Armstrong so far this season. Obviously, he's spent a bit of time out injured.
Yeah, a little bit, sporadic at times. But you know the type of player John Armstrong is. He brings an A game when he gets the opportunity. And as you said, very, very tough to move off the puck. And he needs to do more of that. He needs to control the puck and draw players in, and then have guys that are smart enough to find a little bit of a spot for him to dish the pucks off too. And he's a very good player when he does that.
David Phillips gains the red line and sends the puck in deep. Sorensen out to put a little stop on it, and then his defensemen come in to help out. Still caught up in that far side. Nielsen trying to move it down the wall. The Pirates are now moving forward across the red and across the blue. Puck comes across, and it was deflected by David Phillips, and Bruss was wrong-footed. He was going across the crease with the intended line of the puck before David Phillips diverted it. Now here's DeLuca moving in menacingly, spinning and trying to play the pass. It doesn't get across. You can see what his idea was. Steelers fans in good voice, those that have travelled, making their presence felt. And another one gets through to Brust, and he makes the stop off the redirect.
Yeah, Barry Brust doing an excellent job there, just holding the post as we see Jones crashing through the net. But a little bit lucky as Phillips pushed one off his own skate, puts it a little bit wide. But like you said, Brust was tracking the puck very, very well. He was already anticipating that across, so there wouldn't have been a decent chance anyways come out of that as the player would have been covered.
Sointu won the battle with Cartensen. It's up for Ellaby. His shot gets blocked. Comes to Sam Jones. All around the boards. Gets past Morin. He's trying to win it on the far side. It's all very tight in there and it's all tangled up, and Sointu is on the ground and can't get back to his skates at the moment.
Yeah, Sointu gets his feet taken off from underneath him, and Hodgman there, you can see, just asking the referee for what he saw as his legs got taken out, and then they couldn't get anything worthwhile happening out of there as it got stuck underneath him.
And they're going to call that one icing against Aalborg, and play comes to a stop, but there was a long period in that long time in that first period without a whistle. The game has had a good flow to it.
Yeah, it did, but I think it was about 7 minutes, I think it was, when we were trying to look back at it and see. And yeah, it was back and forth and some great opportunities offensively for both teams. Here's a little bit stop and start, but again, this is what happens, at the beginning of the period. If you go too wild and crazy at the beginning, remember Aalborg had that 5-on-3. That was what built the sort of the momentum up for that sort of style of the game. Where here it's a little bit more now. Teams are settling in a little bit more, and we'll see how they react to one another now they've got 20 minutes under their belt.
Saksrud Danielson keeps the play moving for the Steelers, gets it back, trying to exchange passes, but that one fell off a little bit short. Opportunity to be snapped on goal. Todd got the block in on the shot from Jakobsen, and another one from range. Again, it's caught up in the crowd. Back to the blue line for Aalborg. Conti sends it through. Goes out the far side. The Steelers need to get this clear. They're under pressure at the moment. This is a good spell from the visitors. There's a one-timer. Oh, and the stop made. Or was it really the contact that Jakobsen was looking for? I don't think it was.
Yeah, Sheffield just getting caught going out of the zone and not allowing themselves to get back in time, and that was exactly what happened there. Left a player open on the back door. I think John Armstrong was still out in the neutral zone and trying to break away.
Here's Latal. Hook sent across. He was a little bit behind Conley at first. Steelers still keep hold of possession with David Phillips. Doesn't have anybody near him, so he sends the puck around to the far side where he's hoping for a little bit of support. The Steelers have it. Puck still over on that far side. Steelers commit to try and win it back, and they do so. Kept in by DeLuca. He can move forward. He's already scored from that position once, and that one was just snapped wide.
Looking for the same shot and the same release with players in traffic out in front of the net. Aalborg seems a little bit run around in their own end here. Sheffield just had exactly the shift before that. A lot of pressure put on them, and this line here doing a great job cycling and recycling the puck as Valdix comes out with it.
Back to the blue line. Sent towards goal. The redirect from Jonathan Phillips goes wide on the short side. Ladenhoff moves away for Aalborg.
Much needed change for Aalborg as Barry Brust fires one up the ice.
And it'll lead to an opportunity for the Steelers. Oh, and DeLuca left it for Hodgman and then didn't realise the puck was coming back towards him.
Yeah, it looked like Hodgman was trying to get the puck back to DeLuca to give it to the guy who's got the goal with the golden hands at the minute.
Back in the offensive zone with Aalborg. Comes in and off the chest of Brust. Steelers will get this one away. It'll go down the ice and it'll be far enough for them to get a line change in if they want one. But taken forward by Jakobsen. Anderson in the corner. He loses out. Steelers just want to move this out. They want to play mistake-free hockey. In that respect, it's been pretty good so far. Mosey. Sointu. He loses out, and it'll be Panelin Borg, who one of the players who played for Aalborg on their trip to Ice Sheffield all those years ago. Your Coast Guard is another one, and it's knocked just wide. Crashing the crease was Jakobsen. The puck across to the far side, and then switch back to the near side, and the shot is in on Brust. Steelers forced to do some defensive work here. Todd doesn't get it forward. The Steelers are struggling. It's usually a sign that they're not able to get the puck out of the zone cleanly. They've done it this time. And Armstrong leads them forward into the offensive zone, but they'll go no further. They'll have to come back and reset. And we've seen the Steelers at times turning the puck over in their own zone this season. That's usually led to bad moments. It hasn't happened too often so far tonight.
It hasn't at the minute. I mean, Sheffield have done a pretty good job a lot of the stuff that's been run around has been a good job by Aalborg on the puck retrieval, just sort of getting to players and getting to pucks first. But what I've noticed is Aalborg tend to leave a player back behind the defenseman. That's why they're seeming to get a little bit more chances down in and around Barry Bruss. The defense are pushing up a little bit on the play and not really checking shoulders and making sure that they're the last players in the zone. And that's where the puck's coming back across to that open Aalborg player. And they've had a couple of opportunities with it. So again, maybe something Sheffield just need to tighten up. Just make sure that you're not pushing those D up too far above the hash marks and checking to see what's behind you.
Nice hands from Højbjerg. Sends it on goal. Bruss turns it aside. Back with Højbjerg. And get past Anderson. Stepping up on the near side is Aalborg. Steelers will get to this. They want to find their way out of the zone without dramas. Can't manage it. This is where it's dangerous. Pirates are moving in. Anderson, the puck just got away from him, and Schultz did enough to prevent a quality shot being taken. It's Curti. Still he moves the puck around. Oh, and then a complete fan on the shot. Still with the Pirates. This one gets deflected and goes to the corner. Jonathan Phillips back to it. Steelers being made to work here in this second period. The scoreboard still shows one in the Steelers' favour. Anthony DeLuca, the only goal scorer so far in this one.
It just shows how important it is to clear your zone on there. All that effort and energy that's just been wasted in the defensive zone was turned over from a little bit of, lucky to get away with a Jones there and a little bit of an interference going through, but you don't get the puck out over your blue line on a bouncing play where all it was an easy enough just to off the boards and out, trying to make something a little bit more cute than what it was, and Aalborg go back for another 40 seconds defensively in your own zone and just create those opportunities to try to get this game back to 1-1.
Nielsen to Knudsen. Fired forward and carried into the offensive zone by Julian Jakobsen, the captain of Aalborg. Kabanoff drops it off. Nielsen trying to send it towards goal. Steelers trying to grab it in the corner. It's all a little bit tight and messy. Brust again there with his stick just to nudge it to the corner. That one's deflected out of the zone. Good stick from Hodgman, taking it up and away, allowing the Steelers some fresh skaters on. Yeah, Aalborg doing a very, very good job moving the puck around. They're very good. They're very talented players by what it looks like. They're very well drilled. They move the puck well. They find open players, and it's like anything. The most important player on the ice is not the guy with the puck. It's the players without the puck. Is a long stretch. Looks like Armstrong went a little too soon, and offside is the call against the Steelers, but pass played from the defensive zone. That's going to cost them a little bit of territory. It is. I mean, and just going back to that point, it is whenever you're trying to develop players or trying to teach players, everybody can handle the puck. At this level, everybody can handle the puck, but not a lot of players know where to go when they don't have the puck. They've got to find areas. Obviously, now you're getting into this sort of these elite league levels. Guys do know, but as you're trying to build players and develop players into it, you have to teach the guys to try to keep going to the same spots over and over and over. As you see, Bruss making a nice little save and moving the puck out. If you don't receive the puck at that time, you're not building for then. You're building for when they're playing in the future. So if you continue going to those players, those spots, when you do start playing with guys that are higher skill level, the puck will already be on the way to those spots because they know that's where players need to be. Bjorkstrand drops it off. Skinners slides wide of the goal. Kept in the offensive zone by Charlie Curti, a lone American in this Aalborg side. There's a team of mostly Danes. They've got a couple of Canadians, a couple of Swedes and a Russian. And the whistle will go and play will come to a halt. We're past the midway point of this game. Steelers normally like to be a free-flowing, high-scoring team, but it is. Sorry, Jonathan. It's going to be a hooking penalty here, just on the boards. Bit of a non-call. Conley there just gets the stick right up a little bit as the player and the puck was coming to him. I'd like to see if they're going to call that little hooking penalty. They should have called the one way back about 4 minutes ago on the feet that come out from underneath Sointu that didn't allow him to get back up and get into play. That was a little bit maybe something that Sheffield's guilty of, but they're going to have to be a little bit more off the sticks up on the hands. Connolly sits for hooking 2 for 2 on the penalty kill in the first period. The Steelers. What lessons will Aalborg have learned from those 2 earlier attempts, including that period of 5-on-3? Cox's shot is blocked away by Hodgman, and he goes up and out of play. Well, I think like anything, they're maybe taking a little bit of direction from the captain on the bench, maybe just trying to back up a little bit.
if that's what he was trying to say. But again, Sheffield, they're used to that sort of 1-3-1. They're used to that sort of power play setup that a lot of teams that use nowadays. So you've got smart guys out there that know how to penalty kill against it. And as long as you're not giving up that cross seam pass or that down low in front of Barry Bruss. Bruss is very good with his stick as well, so he's not going to allow anything down low maybe with teams popping out. So stuff higher up maybe with the shot pass on a deflection might be on the cards here if Aalborg can try and find something there.
Morin to Cock, exchanges passes, gets it back, and then left the puck behind again. It's still not sliding particularly well out there. Kirill Kabanov down low behind the goal. We saw some good moments from Kabanov in the first period. Takes the shot, Bruss makes the save, and then it's from close range, fired wide. That was an opportunity. Anderson. Kabanov. Back towards Anderson. It's all very tight. The Steelers will get it away via a deflection. David Phillips. The pressure from Anderson does get the puck away. Back into neutral ice. Picked back up by Skinnars. 45 seconds now on this Aalborg power play.
And Aalborg doing exactly what Sheffield wanted to do there. They took the puck back below their goal line to get their players off the ice and allowed Sheffield to change and get the fresh legs out. So they gave up a lot of zone time to try to get one more rush out of this.
Gertie brings them into the offensive zone, then he heads for the bench. Jakobsen, the captain, chases after it. Spelling gets to it first, and then Mosey takes it from him and tries to get it towards Latal, doesn't reach it. And then back checking was Latal, and he intercepts, and the Steelers just need one more clearance here to see out the final few seconds of short-handed time. And that's exactly what they've got, and the Steelers go to 3 for 3 on the kill. They haven't had a power play themselves yet. The penalty kill unit has done its job so far in this one for Aaron Fox's team. Valdix. Steelers trying to force their way forward down the left wing side. Can't make it happen. Sakshu Danielson tries to bounce it off the bench, but it goes into the Aalborg bench, and we have ourselves another stoppage.
Yeah, good setup there from Aalborg, and again, Sheffield counter it very, very well. They don't allow anything other than that one little chance, but you can see the Aalborg player waiting for that to develop. I think it was a little bit of a switch, a little bit of give and go, and allowing the player that had given the puck to wrap around and come in the back post. And then Barry Bruss, whether he was reading it well, he wasn't quite square, and I think it was actually more of a shot on net than a pass, and Bruss battles it off and then battles the backdoor rebound as well. But Sheffield do a good job on the draw here. They need to relieve a little bit of pressure now and go back the other way.
There's Laderhoff. Moves it on. Taken on by Jakobsen. Back towards Laderhoff. Højbjerg's behind the goal, but they're going to go up to the blue line instead. So they're just trying to keep them to the outside. They'll send one looking for a deflection, but Højbjerg waved at it and didn't get a touch. Nielsen. Defenseman finds himself well forward. That one has taken a deflection and gone up into the protective netting, and we have ourselves another stoppage. In the process before that penalty on Connolly of saying how the Steelers like to be a free-flowing attacking team, but in recent weeks they have had to play a few low-scoring games. That game in Guildford that was scoreless into overtime. They're not unfamiliar with playing games like this.
Well, no, you need to be able to play both. You need to be able to lock it up tight and know how to play defensively, and you have to have confidence in all the players around them to do everything that they need to do to keep the game where it is. So they're buying in. We know they can score goals. They have the opportunity and the ability to score goals when everybody's in the lineup. Again, you look at who's out of the lineup and look how many goals have been, are not available for this weekend. It's a lot of firepower. So they're going to have to play a little bit more of a suck it up and see sort of style of game, and then take the chances when they get the opportunities, which is exactly what they did when they scored the goal.
23 goals in all competitions for Dowd, Eberle and Valorant combined. All unavailable for Aaron Fox tonight, and as you heard him say pre-game, potentially unavailable all weekend as well. Aalborg enjoying the majority of the territory so far in the second period, but they haven't found a way through just yet. Is this an opportunity for them? They move in and the shot gets blocked away. But again, they're straight back onto it through Bjorkstrand. Jones hits the deck under pressure. Aalborg trying to squeeze it in from a tight spot. It wasn't really there for spelling. Brust had everything covered.
Yeah, Jones just being a little bit guilty there. I think, he had the step on the player, and he looked like he changed his mind, didn't see anything to break out, and turned back in and lost his footing. And again, this is all the pressures coming from that sort of play. Again, because I'm involved with whatever the development and just seeing it there. When you clear your end like that, when you net, if you don't see anything, usually if you change your mind, it's a bad thing. Continue doing what you're doing. You're taking the puck away from your own net. If you need to take it up against the boards, you can take that and you can kill the play. Or if you do get cut off, you can bounce it off the glass and get it out. You tight turn, what you're doing is you're coming back into the forecheckers and coming back into all the play. And obviously your team's all trying to build out that sort of side as well. So you turn it back and unfortunately he slips and falls, which obviously has happened quite a bit, to be fair, for a lot of players in the game so far. But Brust was there to bail him out, and that's exactly what you need. You need to have the confidence in everybody on the ice to know that, in times of need, they're going to be there.
It's been a long time since the Steelers had a shot on George Sorensen in the Aalborg goal. Mostly work to do in their own defensive zone so far in this second period. 5 minutes remaining. Scoreline still stays. Steelers 1, Pirates 0. Brust has to be alert as that one came out through the crease from behind him, but kept in at the boards by Bo Knudsen. He's looking to snap one on goal. It goes wide. Saxrud Danielson to it first, but he's under pressure from Morin. Now it's Anderson. Cock from range. That one takes a deflection and goes just wide. DeLuca trying to put a hit in. Saxrud Danielson steps across and doesn't let his man get towards the puck, and the Steelers able to skate it away. Just going to dump it in on goal and get a line change in. They've been under so much pressure in their own defensive zone. They haven't really felt the need to be adventurous when they've had the puck. It's always been safety first.
Yeah, definitely. You're in the long shift there. The best thing to do, get it deep, get a change, and try and reset and regroup. Aalborg are doing a good job. They're really chasing hard. They're really forechecking, and Sheffield, as that one goes into the bench for a second time, Sheffield have been doing a pretty good job, whether they're just a little bit slow to react in their own zone, or they're just allowing Aalborg to get to the puck first and then trying to keep them to the outside. It all depends if that's how you're wanting to play. I mean, obviously you want to try and get in there as quick as you can, but obviously Aalborg are doing a great job on the forecheck, and they seem to be always finding an open player somewhere that they can find. So Sheffield are doing a decent job. Everything to the outside. A couple of little bit of minor opportunities. Nothing too major in on Brust on this period for all the possession that they've had.
Schultz goes off the glass. Mosey and then Sointu go chasing after this one, but red shirts are back. Steelers just want to speed down at this end of the ice for a little bit. They haven't been able to do it much so far in the second period. Not going to be able to do it for much longer here. Aalborg trying to break out. Good back checking from Hodgman to intercept. Hit comes in from Mosey. Not been especially physical. We haven't seen too many big checks landed in this game. Curti on to Kabanoff. Puck into the near side corner. Steelers go hunting after it with Schultz and Jones. Kursgaard. The puck will get past his defenseman and out of the zone, and the Steelers are happy for every little break like that to go their way. Jones gets a stick to it, and Steelers try and get back onto this one, but it's a little bit tight in the corner. Spelling has got onto it. Connolly lends his support. Bjorkstrand. Connolly moves away, buys a little bit of space, but he can't find the pass forward to Armstrong. An opportunity for the Steelers to venture down the ice, comes to nothing.
Yeah, pucks are just getting knocked down and bobbling around. That one there gets knocked out of midair as Connolly does a good job just pursuing the puck. This is what he needs to do, just pursue the puck, put the pressure on the Aalborg defense, and Connolly goes down a little bit slow getting up.
Oh, and he's signaling to the bench, and that's not good news for the Sheffield Steelers. They're already so short of players. Without Eberle, without Dowd, without Valorand. And you'd imagine, judging by Connolly's gesture to the bench, he might not be able to play much further part in this game either.
Have a little look at here. I'm not sure if it gets tangled up with his knees coming in. Right there, you see as he falls backwards onto his one leg, whether if it's an ankle or something.
He's not moved from that position since he fell to the ice.
And that's not a good thing as they're issuing to get him straight off the ice. couple of minutes left. He obviously won't take part in the end of this period with the lines where they are with only 2 minutes left. So take him straight in and have him a little look at it. Netminder helps him up, but he's definitely a little ginger.
Going to try and get an extra door open so he doesn't have to go all the way back to the bench. That is not a good sight for Steelers fans. Brendan Connolly down and in real pain.
Yeah, it looked as though, like I said, it looked as though his leg got caught up underneath him. It wasn't anything the way the hit was. It just how it got stuck underneath, and there was nowhere for him to sort of twist and turn. There was no space, and sort of fell down on it. So you hope it's not anything too serious here as he gets helped off the ice. But you can see there's no weight being put through onto that right leg or right ankle.
Well, they've got the Zamboni door open for him, so it's a shorter route back to the locker room. We're not going to see Brendan Connolly again in this second period, and I will be surprised, based off the pictures that we can see, if we see him again in this game.
Well, yeah, that's another huge blow to Sheffield. Another offensive player, not just that, but someone that can turn a game just by the way he can dictate how the game is played. So Sheffield backs are up against it here. They're going to have to tighten up even more so now.
So important that the Steelers stay mentally strong. It'll hurt them to see a teammate of theirs down and injured. They won't know the severity of it just yet. It's so important that they can get to the intermission with this lead intact. Oh, and a miscommunication results in a 2-on-1 developing. It's Moran back across for Anderson, and the pass wasn't as good as it needed to be from Aalborg's perspective.
It's almost like Aalborg, they want to make that extra pass. I mean, he has a great opportunity to shoot the puck there on the turn. Maybe catch Barry Brust to the top blocker as they're sort of down around the hash marks inside the top of the circle in a very, very good shooting position. Then lays it off back door, and what happens is not even a shot on net. So are they used to, in their own domestic league, maybe being able to make that extra play, make that extra pass? We don't know, but from my perspective, if I see that on the bench as a coach, I'm screaming and shouting, why aren't you shooting the puck? Look where you are on the ice, get it to the net.
Look how the only goal so far in this game has come. Aalborg down the wall, sent across, didn't get the tip it was looking for. Curti looking for the backdoor play, not quite there for Laderhoff. Aalborg, Laderhoff, Curti sent through. There's a crowd in front of Brust, and he bounced off an Aalborg shirt and went wide. Curti again allowed to walk it in. Try and play it to the side of the goal again. He was looking for that redirect. Hasn't quite worked out. Now here's Spelling with the shot, and that's up and over the top of Brust's goal. And then the snow helps take it out of the zone, and the Steelers catch a little bit of a break.
Yeah, the bouncing puck is exactly what you needed there. Definitely, it was Todd, I think, that fell down and allowed a lane in the back door. Sheffield just about get everybody off the ice here.
That was close, but it was okay. The Steelers got one more shift to survive, and they might do better than survive with Mosey moving forward. He just left the puck behind. It's taken away by Jakobsen. Cleared to the near side wall. They just want to keep the puck out of their zone for as long as they can, and with Sointu, they might be able to do a little bit more. Sointu drives wide. Angle is tight. He tried to put one in over the shoulder of Sorensen, and there wasn't really any room for it. One last venture forward, but offside Jeppe Julkorsgaard. This clock stops with a fraction under 11 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you look at Sointu, does a good job offensively getting the puck through the neutral zone, driving it out wide. Maybe, like you said, trying to catch the netminder just down a little bit early, going up over to the top part of the net. But what he does really, really well there, he then doesn't give up on the play, sees the puck go around, and then puts all the back pressure that he can to get back and create that offside, or that offside opportunity with the defenseman standing up.
One more clearance should be enough for the Steelers to see this period out. Armstrong gets it into the offensive zone. I don't think there's going to be time to get it away from the wall and the shot. There is not. And a period that has seen very little offense from the Steelers, but no change in the scoreline. They still lead by that Anthony DeLuca goal to nil. Not many chances for the Steelers. Not really that many great chances for Aalborg either. They've had a lot of possession. They've had a lot of time in the offensive zone. But how many saves from Barry Brust? Only a handful.
Well, yeah, everything seems to be the outside. This is what I was saying. Whether Sheffield's allowing Aalborg to get to the puck first or what, and then they're just sort of containing the situation to the outside. A couple of passes have come in through the crease. Whether they're looking for that little bit of a off the skates and off the stick or whatever through the crease. Barry Brust, obviously down and around, keeping that fairly tight. you know, DeLuca, I think, realistically had the best chance there. Again, same sort of shot, walking down Main Street, other than the 2-on-1 that we just saw from Aalborg, where they don't shoot the puck and they try and make one extra pass. That DeLuca one is exactly where you want to be, coming down top of the circle, inside on your forehand, looking to shoot the puck high and hard, and that's exactly what he does. And he's unlucky that he doesn't score again there, to be fair. It's the same spot, whether it took a bit of a deflection or it just went wide, he tried to shave it too much. That's the opportunity you want. You want the opportunities from inside that house area. Anything outside that, if it's going to go in, might bounce or knock around off people or players. But grade A chances, I don't think Aalborg had one realistically through that middle of the ice.
But the biggest story of the period was the injury towards the end suffered by Brendan Connolly. Had to be helped off the ice. We'll talk more about that when we return on the other side of this trip into the archives. With the departure of Travis Alexuk, Matthias Soyuncu is the man who joins the side as his replacement. Rok Stojanovic made 51 saves yesterday in Nottingham as the Steelers grabbed a cup point, but Aaron Fox will turn to Barry Brust in goal tonight. Fife were in danger of being driftwood, cast away from the rest of the league after 8 straight defeats to start the season, but their fans now have reason to sing. They've got a good feeling again, as back-to-back wins have meant their season is finally coming around. Passes into the skates of Valorand. He made the best of a potentially dangerous situation. Dowd. Back for Mosey. Cross for Valorand. Dowd skated right past it. Armstrong. Mosey. Shot comes through and it's just wide. Still power play time for the Steelers. Connolly. Valorand. Works it back up to Mosey. Back for Valorand. Down for Connolly. Back through and slammed in. It's the power play goal for Robert Dowd. And the Steelers worked it well.
Well, yeah, you can see here Valorand does a good job making everybody come to him, but Connolly knowing exactly what he's doing. And look at that pass straight across Owen. And yeah, no, even Owen tracking the puck there. That goes, you know, an inch off the paddle, off the pads of his stick going through the crease. Robert Dowd's just waiting there one time per side, and this will be a great angle for it here. As you can see, it goes low to high, and then back down low and across right there. That's the biggest one. The only thing Shane Owen can do there possibly is try and get a little piece of that as it comes through.
Sent forward for Hodgman to chase. It's a little too far in front of him. Put the pressure on Emmerdal, who gives it to Peacock, and then on for Carter. Satru Danielson trying to keep the puck away. Todd there to help out. He's lost it. Back out into the slot, hammered home by Peacock. Instant response from the Flyers.
And wow, that's what Fife want to do there. Some poor coverage in Sheffield's end, but some great puck movement, good hard work, some good hard forechecking, like you said, and you can see Fife player behind it has time to look up and make that play, and then it's on and off as this Peacock goes 5-hole on Barry Brust. He can't quite get the wickets closed quick enough.
We've got 30 seconds left of man advantage with Connolly in the box. Emmerdal. D to D, and that shot is high and over the top. Anderson. Shot deflected wide off Keaton Ellaby. Leskovs. Anderson again. Emmerdal takes a deflection. Brust made the save, and they were whacking at the follow-up. Peacock was right there, and somehow Brust kept that left leg out.
Yeah, he did a good job reacting. That's what we said, that high slot tip that we said just before that. Emmerdal gets a good job through here. There's the tip down. Look at Brust there, just extend, sliding the other way, and he's strong with his leg on the ice. He's keeping his pad down there and stretching for all he can as Mosey comes in, and you can see the Fife player knows he's going to get cleared out of there. And Brust does exactly what he needs to do.
Pass was played towards Dowd, who was stepping onto the bench. Hodgman is back out and has made a good job of it. Then back across, and the shot from the Steelers is saved by Owen. Now Hodgman fans on it and loses the puck, and the Flyers get it clear, and it was all a little desperate for a moment.
Yeah, Hodgman does a great job there on the bench, just delaying enough, allowing Dowd to get off the ice so it's not that too many men, and then going down and creating a great opportunity. As Owen again stands tall in the Fife net.
Penalty is over. Hodgman moving through dangerously, gets it to DeLuca, who tried to provide a tip. Hodgman cut off. Good defensive work from Blumenschein. Here's DeLuca. Backdoor play. Armstrong just had his stick tied up. Didn't have it down on the ice, ready to provide a deflection. Todd, slap pass again. Armstrong trying to get onto it. Steelers are building pressure, and the shot from Satru Danielson has found its way in. Looks like it was tipped in front by Anthony DeLuca.
Yeah, we'll have to be here to make sure, but Danielson gets it through to the net. Wrist shot through. We'll see right there. It does look like DeLuca just bat it down a little bit. Shane Owen, I don't know what he thinks he can see there. His glove is going up, but I'm sure it takes a little bit of a drop down.
Steelers into the offensive zone. Letal crashes hard and gets it back to Todd. Thought about the shot, now takes it on, and it's come off the goalpost. Lots of fans thought they'd scored, and they couldn't have come much closer. Armstrong. DeLuca trying to get into position. It's played off the outside of the goal. It's the Flyers who were able to get onto this one. Just going to feather it forward. David Phillips is checked into the boards nastily. That was face first. It's a penalty. The Steelers don't like it, and you can clearly understand why.
Yeah, you can see that it is straight through the numbers, but there's no fight back there from the Fife player as he goes running right through the back of the numbers. So we'll see what's going to be called here as Davey gets up and gives him a shot on the way by.
And the good news is that David Phillips is up.
Yeah, definitely. The big guy, but like anything, straight through the numbers, straight into the boards. It's going to be called pretty much every time. I think he's sending him. I think they're sending him off. Get the nod to go. Off they go. So it's going to be that checking from behind. So we'll see if it's a 5 in a game for checking from behind. We'll see if that's what comes through. If it is, that's a huge disadvantage for the Fife Flyers. If it's a 5-minute power play for Sheffield to try to take advantage of.
Mosey. Valorand. Across for Dowd. Settles the puck down and then checks his options. Schultz. Valorand. Dowd. Schultz shot blocked in front. It's looping up in the air. It lands on top of the net. Then it lands in the crease and goes in. What a strange goal. Out of the sky, onto the back of the net, and then into the back of the net.
Yeah, Shane Owen knew exactly what it was doing too. You can see him trying to, as it goes up, he spots it up above him. He's trying not to let it hit him in the back. You can see if he reach around, seeing if it goes behind, trying to basket catch it himself, and unfortunately right there, I'm not sure if is it Mosey that puts it in or if it's the Fife defenseman, but obviously Mosey's the one that reacts to it. Sticks down below the crossbar, which is the main thing. Yeah, it is. It is batted out of the air, and Mosey gets the end of it.
Oh, mishandled over on the far side by Eberle, but he's won it back. They'll get it to DeLuca. Second power play unit, but no shortage of big shooters. Todd. DeLuca, that's well wide. Hodgman. Todd. Shot comes through, deflected in front. And the Steelers have another. The major power play has caused major problems for the Fife Flyers.
Yeah, it looks like is it Eberle that gets the deflection on. A good heads-up shot here again. Look, a little bit of a delayed on the shot. It's a bit up in the air, but again, nothing that Owen can do about that. It's Eberle down in front of the net. And he's not the one that gets the end touch to it.
Here's Valorand. Save made. Puck is still loose. Armstrong gets onto it. Back up the middle, then to the near side. Valorand. Shot takes a deflection off Isaacs. Dowd. Armstrong.
Connolly. Mosey is the blue line option. Valorant will snap it and score. The power play makes the difference in the third period, and the Steelers must have the point secure now.
Well, it all comes down to the puck retrieval all before this. When Valorant comes in, it steps through. I'm not sure if Owen doesn't see it. He just sort of misses it there. I mean, you know, he sort of missed a goal. Looks like it goes off his left thigh there underneath the glove. But what sets it all up again, it's the hard work and the determination to get the puck back after you've either taken a shot or lost it. They do a good job on the retrieval. They get it. Armstrong gets it back out to the blue line. It goes 2 more passes and is in the back of the net.
Put the Flyers under enough pressure for them to turn the puck over. And Ellaby only too happy to send it down the ice. Just felt like a little bit of the intensity's dropped out of the game now.
Yeah, I think it is, to be fair, Jonathan. Like you say, it's 5-1 now. Fife still have to be careful. Let's not turn it into an absolute route going the other way. You know, you're still playing for
Turnovers
pride.
like that don't help.
No.
That puck is just about covered by Owen to deny Soyuncu his first Steelers goal.
Yeah, he would have loved to have that one. Doesn't matter when he scored that one, but it's just what we said. You know, you've got to work hard on a power play. At any given time, your power play has to outwork the penalty killers, and usually your penalty killers are the ones that are the hardest working guys. It's just a miscommunication. And just can't quite there. Who's that comes in on the back door?
That's the stick of McNicholas.
McNicholas comes in and saves the goal, I think, on the open net. You know, Fife just have to do something a little bit more energetic and creative, trying to get the puck into the offensive zone and then work hard to keep possession of it.
McNicholas now going to work at the other end of the ice. Look at the wall for Naslund. Again, the Steelers get onto it and clear it away. Naslund back for Carter. Stayed in the offensive zone. Carter can keep going. He'll move through and he'll score. Nice work, Matt Carter. The Flyers have a consolation.
Yeah, nice long stick there. Nice big guy. You can see him coming through. Some pretty good stick handling coming through here. Looking players off. Lattell misses with the poke check, but again reaches back. That's a pretty good shot, to be fair. Stick side low again on Barry Bruss. That's a good shot into the net.
This is sort of...
So we'll have to leave those highlights there. You can see all the action from previous Steelers games on the Steelers YouTube channel. But for now, our focus turns back to the Gigantium Arena here in Aalborg, Denmark. It's Group F of the Continental Cup, and it's the Steelers leading by 1-0 against the Aalborg Pirates through 40 minutes. The shot count, 20 to the home side, 8 for the Steelers. You get the impression that the Steelers probably only managed about a couple of those during that second session.
Well, I think so. You saw how much pressure Aalborg put on them, but a lot of it was done to themselves, let's say. Some giveaways, some untimely giveaways late in the shift where they're not getting the puck out of the zone. You know, it's bouncing up to the tops of the circles and getting rattled back down below, and you're having to put more pressure on your defensive systems and your defensive team to try to move the puck out, and it's not what you want to do. Tiring yourselves out. You're not getting, especially a long change too, second period. That was another big thing. Aalborg took it back on a power play, allowed Sheffield to get all 4 players off the ice. They've reset a couple of times when they've wanted to get players off the ice, but as you can see here, as the teams are on the ice, there's an awful lot of players closest to the camera here, and you look at the other end, and it's pretty sparse down on the Steelers' end. But you know, it's something that Sheffield have to manage and get through. They're up by 1, limit the chances, keep everything to the outside, and don't allow those nice ones down the middle of the ice.
And if Brendan Connolly, injured towards the end of the second period, isn't able to return, does Alex Graham as the 10th forward just slot in and they roll with 3 threes, or are they going to shorten the bench and just go with 8 and extra shifts for the wingers?
Well, you know, I think you've got to give him the opportunity to trust him a little bit. I mean, you can say to him, play man-on-man with your defenseman in your own end. I mean, you've seen him play here. You know, he has played games here, and he's not been a defensive liability. So why would he be a defensive liability to a team that you've gone away to? They're at the same sort of caliber, same sort of competition that you're in. You have some young guys on the bench, or you have a young guy on the bench. Do you really want to overplay more guys? You might want to. You can't move Mosey up; he's already up there. You move Jones up and go to 5D, but you've got a forward. So, you know, let him play 1, sit him 1, let him play another 1, sit him 1, and then you've given guys a little bit of rest, and you've still rolled 3 lines for at least half the period.
Back underway, third period, Sheffield Steelers leading by a 1-0. Jonathan Fernley here alongside Ron Shudra. Steelers protecting that 1-goal lead. They would love to be able to build on it. They didn't have many chances to do so during the second period. DeLuca, scorer of the only goal, kept away from the puck in the corner, cleared away down by Carstensen. Ice conditions as good as they're going to be at the start of the period. We've seen it deteriorate as the game has gone on.
Doesn't look like Conley has made it back out onto the bench. Just running through the numbers there as saw Alex Graham stood up on the bench, so maybe he is ready and primed and going to get that opportunity.
Sent across to the far side by Spelling. Steelers looking to intercept. It was Sointu waving a stick at it. Must be offside. No. Officials allow that to go on. Looked like the Aalborg player had stepped into the zone a little too soon. Oh, and then left behind by Sointu, and that could be costly. Opportunity coming in, and Brust makes the save.
And there again, you see the opportunity to clear the zone. And what happens is it doesn't come out of the zone, and Aalborg are very, very quick to react and go right back onto the net.
So Alex Graham is out there. It'll be Valdix up against Moran from the face-off. Valdix wins it back. Spent time in Milton Keynes and Romania and Germany and Cardiff while he's been away from the Sheffield Steelers. We're certainly happy to have him back.
Alex Graham making a good debut single shift so far with two decent body checks, so allowing Sheffield to keep the puck down low.
Jonathan Phillips has got Nielsen trapped against the wall. Steelers happy for the puck to be down at this end of the ice and those seconds ticking away. Still a long way to go to the end of this game, but they have a lead to protect. That one deflects wide off the body of Keaton Ellaby. Aalborg work this into a shooting position. They've got it to the top of the circle. They'll go back to the point. Cox sends it through from long range. It goes over the top of the goal. Brust has to get back into position. Carstensen. One gets blocked away off Jonathan Phillips. Another shot into the traffic, and again it gets deflected away before it reaches the Steelers netminder. So many good block shots by the Steelers in this game. They have clogged up those shooting lanes well.
And everything's been to the outside again. Long-range shots from the defenseman. A little bit of traffic out in front, but Brust has been able to pretty much see everything so far. So that's something you want to continue to do. Allow the play to be taken to the outside. Just don't give up anything through the middle of the ice.
Hard hit by Todd sends Hoybier down to the ice. Aalborg win it back. They get it to Curti. The shot again deflects to the corner. Work it out from behind the end line. The Steelers are going to try and make sure that they don't. Saxu Danielson to it first. Needs a little bit of help to get the puck out of the zone. Again, it goes backwards, and the Steelers have more work to do. Hoybier putting on the moves, trying to keep the puck away from the Steelers. It'll come round to Charlie Curti again. DeLuca's with him, so too Hodgman. Again, the Steelers just can't get it out of the zone at the moment. Kept in by Jakobsen around to the far side. The Steelers should have the chance to clear it now. And they'll get it down the ice, and DeLuca's free in the middle, but they'll take the shot on Sorensen, and he will glove it. Up and out of play via Mosey. He only had eyes for goal.
Yeah, the only thing we've not really seen is Sheffield like to stretch the play. If back in domestic here, the Steeler defensemen get pucks, you automatically see the Sheffield wingers bolting out to the far blue line looking for a stretch pass to try to relieve pressure. We've not seen any of that right now. Is it because Aalborg are right back in the faces of the Sheffield defensemen with the hard pressure? They're not getting the opportunities to get the puck out and stretch the zones and get that attack going.
I feel that the longer the game goes on, the more that Aalborg will have to take chances, and maybe those opportunities for breakaways will come. Schulz, we backhanded that straight back into trouble. Armstrong will bail his teammate out, and the Steelers will get it forward. Hodgman to the blue line, and David Phillips sends it on. But carried forward by Jakobsen, the captain. He was blocked on his route out of the zone, gets it back, and Aalborg are just going to keep it in their own defensive zone a little longer while they complete some changes. And then they inadvertently kick that one forward, and the Steelers happy to take back possession. Phillips tangling with Højbjerg. Back in the defensive zone with Anders Koch. Steelers keeping a close watch over. They don't want to overcommit. There goes Spelling. Handling inside and outside. Still with Thomas Spelling. Plays it out into the slot, and Jonathan Phillips is there, and that's a calm pass that gets the Steelers moving forward. Alex Graham comes to Jonathan Phillips, but he kind of backed into trouble, and the whistle has gone. And are we going to have a penalty here? I think we might do. Judging by the cheers from the Steelers fans, it's going to be the Steelers' first power play of the game. And heading to the box is Thomas Spelling.
Yeah, it looks like it was down the board, some sort of a hooking or an interference call down the boards. Alex Graham relieving some pressure and taking the puck down and just getting it deep. It sort of went off the line. He's been bounced favorably to Jonathan Phillips. I think it was up the middle of the ice. But we'll see what Aalborg can do here on the penalty kill. This is huge for Sheffield. They can get this and get the opportunity to maybe stretch it out here to get to 2-0. We'll see what they can muster up here on the power play.
First Steelers power play of the game. Hodgman. Todd. Slap shot from the outside, and Sorensen throws a blocker at it to help it on its way. Puck will go all the way down the ice. Todd has to go back to fetch it. Steelers penalty kill has done its job today, 3 for 3. First venture out for the power play unit, Letal.
Another penalty. Yeah, another penalty as the defenseman comes through and slashes Letal. Does a nice little move to the inside with lots of speed. Aalborg defenseman trying to stand up.
So what an opportunity the Steelers have got here with Lasse Boog Knudsen sitting in the penalty box alongside Thomas Spelling.
And a timeout for Sheffield. Aaron Fox, smart move by Aaron Fox. We got plenty of time, 5 on through here. See if they can try and set something up. Aalborg, now they're on the under the gun here. Sheffield had their 5 on 3 opportunity against them. You can see Fox there trying to get everybody, it looks like, on the power play. Only got 12, 13 players. Everyone's going to be on it.
It's a little bit of a bugbear of mine that coaches tend to only use their timeout when they're trailing by a goal with 60 seconds left, or when they're 3-0 down in the first period and the team needs a telling off. I really like the idea of taking a timeout now, recognizing that this is a key part of the game for the Steelers.
This is huge for Sheffield right now. They, like I say, they go up here. If they can score here, obviously in the first minute or so of this, they still have the power play for another minute. So if they can get something here, they've got to control the puck, keep it to the outside. Don't do anything too creative and try and put passes through the box or through the triangle too much. You can tend to when you get a long situation, take your time and then try to really set it up, as opposed to looking to see where you can find some open ice.
Lattel, Hodgman, Sointu, DeLuca and Todd, the power play unit for the Steelers. A 5-on-3 opportunity. And the best opportunity the Steelers have had so far to extend their lead to 2. Todd. Hodgman tries to jam it in, and the puck got a little bit loose. Is it covered up? It is by Sorensen. You can sense the frustration as Hodgman just kind of lost control of the puck at the moment he was about to snap it.
Yeah, you can see what Sheffield's trying to do here. They're putting the 2 players down below the goal line and really creating that sort of box and one inside the inside the house. What you're trying to do is you're trying to collapse it, go behind the net, and then maybe come out to the point for a quick one-timer shot there, or you bring it once it goes out. Bring it back and you can hit the high guy or a cross crease pass. So there's a few different options here. If we see Hodgman wins his face-off again, that's the biggest part of the setup so far.
Up against Jakobsen. Steelers will get the puck back up the wall to Dane Todd. It's back with Hodgman. Cross for DeLuca. Todd thought about the one-timer, decided against it. DeLuca will hammer it, it goes wide. Hodgman, oh, it came back to him off the boards and he didn't make good contact. Todd. Hodgman. Kind of into the skates a little bit. Todd sorts it out, then slaps it on goal. Save made by Sorensen. Follow-up shot from Letal, and Sorensen drops down and covers up and gets his team the whistle they wanted.
Yeah, well, exactly what we said with Barry Brust at the other end. A 5-on-3, your best penalty killer has to be your netminder there. And right there you can see the opportunities that have come through. Sheffield just unlucky. As there's one shot comes through, another one hits him right in the chest, but the one that come off the backboard, so Hodgman had a wide open net, just bounced and bobbled up and over. That would have been an easy backdoor play.
Still 39 seconds of 5-on-3 time for the Steelers, and a little bit of 5-on-4 on the other side of that. But an important face-off win by Aalborg, and they'll clear the puck down the ice and kill off a few more precious seconds. Mosey looks to carry the puck forward. This time he'll dish it off for Valdix, who drives wide. Mosey exchanging passes with Schultz. Phillips pulls away, and the shot comes in from Mosey, but it gets deflected and goes up and out of play. Jonathan Phillips, part of the power play unit. Very proud to be on that power play unit as well. We spoke to him on the Steelers podcast a few weeks ago, and this is the Jonathan Phillips power play unit.
Well, he's been on the power play before. You stick him in front of the net, and he's a good player. He's smart, he's experienced, he knows where to be, and he's a great puck retrieval guy. That's the main thing. Is you're out there. He's very, very good at doing what he can do. But Sheffield got to be careful. Don't turn it too much. If they want to play that box in one, you can't step out too much.
Face-off win for Aalborg, but they don't get the puck out of the zone, so the Steelers have a couple more seconds of 5-on-3. They snap it on goal. Sorensen makes the save. They're digging for the puck. Letal can't get it, and Spelling can rejoin the ice, but the Steelers 5-on-4 will play it back across. Well broken up. The stick of Koch knocks it away. Still in the offensive zone for the Steelers. DeLuca. Aalborg putting pressure on, not giving Hodgman a moment of rest. Now DeLuca. Quickly across to meet him as well. Todd just lost control of the puck for a moment and tried to play a quick pass, and it got deflected away. And Aalborg just upped the intensity at the end of that kill, and the Steelers couldn't quite match it.
Yeah, it was very, very lucky, very, very well played by Aalborg. They collapsed it, didn't give Sheffield real good scoring opportunity, just like Sheffield did on the 5-on-3. They didn't give up an awful lot of real grade A chances. A couple of shots and rebounds, but nothing really too troublesome, and that's a big miss from Sheffield here with one, up one with 12 and a half minutes to go.
Back to 5-on-5 hockey. 1-0 lead for the Steelers. Looks as narrow as ever. Should be able to get this one forward through Jones. Armstrong goes back. Possession the order of the day for the Steelers, but that pass doesn't find its target, and it's fortunate that it's grabbed by Mosey. Steelers trying to force a turnover, can't manage it. Now they've got to filter back. Defensemen weren't getting involved in that rush into the offensive zone. Expect them to play a little bit more responsible as this game goes on. I don't think we're going to see Sakshu Danielson behind the net and Ellaby stick handling down the left wing side too much more.
No, or not.
Sent in on goal, just wanted to get a whistle and didn't, and now he's got to race on to get back to the bench. He was trying to get his team a whistle while the rest of his line went off for a change. He has now made it back to the bench.
And there's your Sheffield stretch that I was talking about, getting the opportunity to stretch it out and get him back in the zone.
Schultz driving forward. He sends it on goal. Save made by the pads of George Sorensen. Schultz down the wall. Sointu just gets away from him, and opportunity for Aalborg to skate forward. Spelling moves it inside. The Steelers quickly on the scene to put the pressure on and didn't give Bjorkstrand any room at all. 11 minutes remaining. Todd. 4 checkers close in. Steelers just keep that puck moving. Sakshu Danielson. Red line and dump it in. Valdix trying to win the puck back, but he's got 2 for company, including the figure of Korsgaard. Now switch to the near side, and it's Korsgaard again in an attacking opportunity. Kept away from goal. Good work from the Steelers to drive him away from the crease. Aalborg keep it in on the far side. They'll shoot towards goal, and via deflection they'll level it. The long point shot got a tip in front of Barry Brust, and the home side are level with a little over 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, you seen everything was very, very good. You had Valdix keeping everything to the outside, and then here's the shot that gets through, and it looks like it goes off the Sheffield defenseman and then on to the Aalborg player down below. Brust's feet and just pops it into the open net. A bit fortunate, but the opportunities and the pressure that they have had, it is going to bite you at some point. You've got to be able to get some possession the other way. Now we'll see what Sheffield can do, as it's been sort of all Aalborg second period. Third period here, a little bit, Sheffield had the opportunity 5-on-3. How important, like we said in the first period, was a 5-on-3 for Aalborg that they didn't score. And then now you go Sheffield 5-on-3 where they don't score to maybe go up 2. And we're right back in a game here with 10 minutes to go, 1-1.
So get ready then for the restart of this game, which is now all tied up. Still waiting on confirmation of who got that final touch for Aalborg. They won't really mind. They've got themselves back level in this game. Steelers, they've got to find the energy to go again. Ellaby sends it forward. It bounces off the boards. They've awarded the goal to Carstensen. The point shot, so it must have been a Steelers defenseman that got that final deflection. And we'll just try and confirm that for you when we have it. The Steelers looking for a response with Armstrong. Tied up by Panel in Borg. Steelers can't keep it in the offensive zone for long, and now they've got defensive work to do as puck is chipped forward and Brust will cover up as Jakobsen closed in.
Yeah, Ellaby didn't like that. Jakobsen didn't quite snow the netminder as DeLuca comes in and says something as well. The opportunity was there for Brust to come out and play the puck. He doesn't play the puck. He then takes the face-off, as you see Jakobsen going to the bench. 9.5 minutes here, third period. You see what Sheffield can muster. Good to see that. You see on the bench, the coach right away is there talking to Jakobsen as he's coming off. He's obviously found something, so very fresh in the player's mind, very fresh in the coach's mind, just to have a little review of something that went on. You see Sheffield on the face-off here, very, very important.
Anderson against the wall with Schultz. David Phillips helps it on its way. Højbjerg provides the hit. Song 2 trying to go back across his own goal. That was dangerous, and it was sent goalwards by Morin. Steelers haven't been guilty of too many turnovers in their own defensive zone, but that was a pass that didn't go where it was intended to, and it nearly proved costly. Coming up on 9 minutes remaining. Anderson digs it out and sends it back down the wall. David Phillips has to keep the puck moving. Got blocked by Morin. And now he's got more work to do, and he's got pressure all over him. Now an opportunity at the other end. Oh, and good defensive work. Just denying Latar with the opportunity, who was thinking about bursting in on goal. Just got across to cover in the nick of time, and Song 2 centered on the end of that pass. Now it's Todd. On the far side boards. Steelers got it as far as the red line, but couldn't get it in deeper. Red line was far enough for a change. Valdix to Jonathan Phillips. Sorensen settles it down. Graham goes hunting. Saxrud Danielson sends it across looking for a tip and couldn't quite provide one. But gathered back in by Valdix. Every time he intercepts a puck like that on the back check, you think back to that playoff final against Cardiff. We've seen that move many times before. Maybe the most famous goal in Steelers history. Graham couldn't win that battle against Højbjerg. Spelling sent across and deflected away by the Steelers before it got to Brust. Puck is with Aalborg behind the net. They'll send it back out front. They've got this set up in the offensive zone. Aalborg looking to take the lead for the first time in this game. Shot comes through and it's deflected wide on the short side. The Steelers just want to smash this clear, and they do so. It'll cost them icing, but they do get it away. Confirmation that the goal has been now awarded to Kirill Kabanov. He got the deflection on Nikolai Carstensen's shot. So 7 from 24, even strength at 49-36.
Sheffield, most important part right now is suck up this face-off here. A little bit tired unit out on the ice. Need to win the draw, and they don't, unfortunately.
Fired over the top. They've taken a little bit of a deflection. The Steelers a little bit trapped in their own zone at the moment. That one comes through off the chest of Brust, back out into a dangerous area. The Steelers get it to the near side wall. It's all a little bit panicky and desperate at the moment. Just getting it out of the zone is a little mini victory. But immediately more work to do as Korsgaard under pressure from Evan Mosey. Ellaby helping out. Korsgaard again, trying to jam it through. It's off the pads of Brust and back out. Curti. Trying to get away from Jonathan Phillips, and he has done. Defenseman now drops it off. It's all on the outside at the moment, though, for Aalborg. They play it back towards the goal. They tried to, but Steelers defenseman quickly on the scene. Satru Danielson got his skates in the way, but the Steelers are having to absorb a lot of pressure at the moment. They need an out, they need a whistle. It's been a long shift for these players. Sent towards goal and blocked away. Again, there's a crowd in front of Brust. 6 minutes to play. Satru Danielson has lost his stick. He'll pick it back up. Steelers want to get this out of the zone, but they can't. Remember, this shift was preceded by an icing call. They've been out there for a while. We're going to get icing again. We are. The Sheffield Steelers don't have the timeout to catch a break either. And Fox used that earlier. 5:44 to go. And Aalborg really starting to turn up the heat.
They are as well, for sure. Jonathan Phillips was the only one left on that line. As Valdix and Graham did get off on it. It just went out over the blue line in a little bit of reprieve. Obviously closest to bench. Jonathan Phillips, the longest player away, had to play another, 30-40 seconds of defensive zone. You can see by the end of it he was blowing pretty hard, but they got off and they got a couple of guys on before the icing. So Armstrong needs to have a big face-off here, and he does.
Puck will slide down the ice, but another icing whistle. So not too much skating for the Steelers players to do on that one. I think they realised from the way back that it wasn't worth chasing after.
It wasn't, but I mean, you know, that to me that's a 50-50 play. It's a rim around the boards. The defenseman actually steps up on the play, doesn't take the puck. So he has the opportunity to put a stick in the lane and take the puck there, but he doesn't, allows it to go, and it's an icing call. So, yeah, a little bit of a soft icing in my eyes.
Here's Mosey. That shot takes the deflection. The Steelers do get up the ice. They have been able to get their defenseman off and changed. It was the first priority, really, on that venture forward. Sorensen.
Yeah, tough pass off the boards there. Sorensen has to play one. I think it was Sointu that came through the crease there, just a little bit behind the play, but that would have been an interesting bounce battle that could have happened.
Puck knocked down by Sointu really well out of the air. Then drops it off and fired into the top corner by Martin Latal. There was no high stick on the previous play, and the Steelers take full advantage as Sointu sets up Latal, and the Steelers have their lead back.
Yeah, here you see the replay of Sointu, but there's the finish. What a fantastic finish that is. One-timer, it's not on the blade very long, and it's right to the top of the net. And a fantastic job through the neutral zone. Like I said, didn't know if it was high stick or not. They're having a little communication. I don't know if they can review this or not. If it's after the fact and it's in the net, there was no call on the play. So how do you go back to it unless you've got video evidence or what? It's got to stand because all four didn't see it. That's what they're saying now. Was from where we were here, it looked like it was a high stick to me through the neutral zone, but at the minute with the linesman standing at center ice, it looks like it's going to stand.
It was Sointu who reached up and knocked it down, and Sointu was the first to gather the puck back in. Is the official heading off the ice to check the video? It looks as though it is, and I've got a feeling this is going to be bad news for the Steelers.
It could possibly be, yes. But we'll have to see going through. But from our vantage point here, whether there is a video review on the play or not, they can. Oof, yeah. Depending on where that hits on the stick, I think we're going to see. It's tough to see. They're going to have to make a judgment out of it. But home team using all the advantage that they have.
Can you be certain on a replay like this from the main camera angle? It's not an ice level camera. Is there some guesswork involved?
There is some guesswork. It's very, very difficult. Obviously, you know, we've got lots of different feeds that we use. here to make sure that we can see sort of different angles and we get a chance to see it maybe before the referees do. But here they're having a look, but I'm not sure who's pointing stuff out, or whether he's just moving the iPad around. But the referees and the officials here, because you're on a higher angle, tough to see where it makes contact. You'd have to really slow it down and get zoomed into it.
At the very worst, the Steelers players are getting a nice rest.
That's true. With 5 minutes left, they are getting a good opportunity, and one little pressure that they do have to go through, they do get the opportunity and score a goal. High glove again.
Steelers have actually faced George Sorensen before, back when he played with Sir D'Italia. Steelers faced them in pre-season in August 2017. Steelers beat him 4-2 that day. Nelson got a couple, Dowd got a goal, O'Connor got one. But has Martin Laddle got one?
And it looks like it's a goal. Sheffield bench are celebrating, so inconclusive on the video.
You can see the frustration and the disappointment and the questions being asked. Tobias Ladoff off the bench to ask questions of the officials. The referees are German, the linesmen are Danish. And they have decided that that is a goal for Martin Latal. It's his ninth.
Is it a penalty as well? Yeah.
Season.
I think it's a penalty as well if they're using it as that. They were just mentioning, sorry to talk over to you there, Jonathan. Looks as though are they doing it? Gates are open, so it is a penalty, a 2-minute power play for Sheffield to maybe get an opportunity to stretch it out on that challenge.
So use your challenge, lose a player. 54-59 has been played in this game, and the Steelers lead by 2-1. DeLuca and Latal, the scorers for the Sheffield Steelers. And they've got a 2-minute opportunity here to all but put the game away.
Well, they do. Obviously you get the opportunity to go up 3-1, and you could put that game away in the distance. But what you also have time here too is to kill 2 minutes off the clock. To give yourself that last 3 minutes of the game. But obviously you want to try and score a goal, but you don't want to give up anything silly. So make sure you control the puck. Don't try to do stuff that's overly creative. I keep harping on about it. Don't put a bad pass into a bad area. If you don't have to do it and it's not a clear lane and it's not a quick zip pass, don't do it. Control it, set it up. You don't have to necessarily score, but you don't want to give one up.
So 5-on-4 for the Steelers. They're 0 for 2 on the power play. If they can go 1 for 3, they might just secure full points in this game, but the puck is turned over, and now they've got defensive work to do as Aalborg look to make something happen short-handed. Brust has to make the save off the chest. Korsgaard is into the corner. He's got a couple of white shirts for company, and it's Saxrud Danielson who will move it away as far as Latal, the scorer of that go-ahead goal.
And here's your quandary for a coach now. You're up by 1 with under 5. Your power play usually has a forward on defense. Do you throw 2 defensemen out on there and you play a little bit more defensive-minded having 2 defensemen, or do you allow that forward to have to play a 2-on-1 if needed?
I think you just make sure that any pass going from the half wall back to the blue line has got enough pace on it. You don't want to leave a puck short on ice that is getting progressively worse to play on. Latal snaps it, and the blocker save made by Sorensen.
And here's your opportunity. If Sheffield give that up, there's a 2-on-1 right there.
Todd works it down low. Steelers keeping hold of it. They're being patient with Sointu. But just gets a little away, and Aalborg chop at him. There should be the opportunity for Jakobsen to clear it, and he does. And now the chase is on. Todd needs to win this with pressure coming in hard from Morin. Morin got it back. Now Latal with the defensive work, and this is not where the Steelers want to be on the power play. 20 seconds left as Valdix moves it to the near side. DeLuca doesn't see a way into the zone. Steelers move it into the offensive zone. Potentially time for one last shot on the power play. Not with a pass like that, it's back towards the point. Skinners is out of the box. He was serving the penalty. And we're back to 5-on-5 with a little under 3 minutes remaining in this game. DeLuca gets a stick on that to partially deflect it. Again, the Steelers have to go to work deep in their own zone. Mosey trying to move it up the wall and get it across the blue line. Can't quite manage it. Aalborg will try and build some pressure. Looking for a late leveler. All hands on deck for the Steelers. Puck is sent wide. Aalborg player hits the floor. The crowd are calling for something. Steelers fans thought it was a dive. Valdix. Mosey. Off the boards and out of the zone. Bruce thought about coming to play that, decided against it. Jones gets the puck down the ice. This is the area where the Steelers want the puck to be, as far away from Barry Bruce goal as they can get it as we enter the final 2 minutes. Sorensen will surely be off to the bench soon. Brust against the wall, not out of the zone, kept in by Jakobsen. Kabanoff tried to play it back to Curti and it went straight past his defenseman and back to his netminder. Kabanoff again. Gets it back, takes the shot on and Brust makes the stop and now it's with Latal. Sorensen on the bench for the extra skater. 6 against 5. Aalborg are all in. And the Steelers have got work to do here. Mosey blocks the centering feed. Kabanoff. Back up to Curti. Move it central, then they move it out to the far side. Curti again. So many options in the 6-on-5 situation, but it's all a little bit tight and it doesn't fall for the Steelers. Mosey thought he was going to be able to intercept that and if not shoot to the empty net, at least get it clear. Nervous times for those Steelers supporters. Can Aalborg rescue it late? They tried the slap shot. David Phillips got a block on it from Jakobsen's effort. Shot through a crowd, it's blocked in front. Jakobsen again on this near side. Kabanoff calls for it in the circle. They go behind the goal, and that net was being knocked off by the Steelers. That was a little cheeky, and it stops the clock with 30 seconds, and the Steelers might have just got away with one there.
Possibly, but if you looked at if there is a replay for it, it was a cross-check in the back, and then it was an extra little push, but Fox is looking for the play to be taken outside, but obviously his own player knocks the net off. But what was interesting is when Aalborg cleared the puck, when Sorensen played it back up the ice, if that happens 10 seconds later, that's an empty net own goal. Sorensen would have been on the bench, and that was straight into the middle of the net, but it nearly caught Sheffield on a change. Getting it back up here, they're ready to go. Most important thing again, defensive zone faceoff. Who you got on the ice? You need to win this draw.
Garth Murray, the coach of Aalborg, keeps his timeout in his pocket. He doesn't want to use it. It is last chance for the Aalborg Pirates. 6 against 5. The Steelers are so close to a win in the opening game of this Continental Cup Group F clash. Brust makes the save. The puck is still loose. Can Sakshu Danielson get it away? He can't, but Brust can cover.
Well, Barry Brust getting side to side, and everybody's breathing a sigh of relief on that as Brust tracks it across and does a great job getting from top of the crease to the back door and doesn't allow that puck to go into the open net. So again, Sheffield really need to focus on this as there's a timeout now with 10.4 seconds left to go. But Sheffield maybe a little guilty on the face-off. They win the face-off, but they don't hammer the puck around the boards and make it a difficult play for the defenseman on this far blue line. You win the face-off, you've done half the job. Now you either got to eat the puck. You don't want to go back up the same boards because everybody's there. And if you are going to rim that puck, you're sending that guy right towards the defenseman. He's not trying to play the puck. He's trying to play the defenseman and knock him out. As you see, just after the replay there, or just after the initial shot, as Brust gets across, and then Danielson does a decent enough job to box out and not allow a second and third opportunity.
10.4 seconds separate the Steelers from a victory. No surprise that Hodgman is out there to take this draw.
One thing I'd have a four-handed defenseman on that boards on the other side. You win the face-off, and you're, like I said, hammered around the boards. You got 10 seconds. You're going to waste it, and they lose it. Brust paddles it away, and there they go. Sheffield have the opportunity.
The empty net is gaping. Can the Steelers find it? Yes, they can. With less than a second to go, the Steelers have found the empty net, and they've won the game by 3-1. Sointu with the icing on the cake, and it is a victory for the Sheffield Steelers over the Aalborg Pirates. And boy, have they earned it.
Well, what
a defensive effort it's been in this game.
They've done a fantastic job. Aalborg, very, very offensive team. They were all over them for better part of the second period in possession-wise. They didn't get the opportunities, but then they do fight back in the third period to get that goal back on a little bit of a deflected play. But the opportunities that they did have, they did get the chance to get the game back to where it should be, but Sheffield absorbed all the pressure. Barry Brust did what he had to do. That's the face-off, and Jonathan
played one, won one. The perfect start for the Sheffield Steelers in Group F of the Continental Cup. Earlier on today, Gommel beat Aalborg by 3-1, and it is Aalborg next up for the Sheffield Steelers. And what an effort they have put in. They lost Brendan Connolly to injury at the end of the second period, but the remaining players battled hard. They had an awful lot of work to do in their own defensive zone, but my goodness me, they really put their bodies on the line today.
They did. How many shots and how many times did you say, and there's another block, and there's another deflected shot, and there's another pass that's gone astray? You know, Aalborg, give them a lot of credit. They were very, very offensive. They moved the puck very, very well in the offensive zone. Tried to create some opportunities. Sheffield, at times, were a little bit running around, but even though they were running around, there wasn't a lot of grade A chances through it. There were a lot of puck possession, a lot of passes, but there was no end result from very good opportunities. And like I said, in the second period, with all the pressure Aalborg had, I thought the Lucas chance was the best chance of the period.
So the empty net goal at 59-59 from Matthias Sointu. That is his 9th goal of the season. Unassisted into the empty net. Barry Brust gets the Man of the Match award for the Sheffield Steelers. He made the saves that he needed to, but because of the work in front of him, he didn't make as many saves as I think Aalborg really wanted him to.
I think you're absolutely right, but the ones that he did have to make, a couple of backdoor passes and shots that he did do, a couple that came through the feet that there was some hack and whack in and around. So Barry Brust did a good job. Obviously the post.
The national anthem never sounds better than it does when it's played following a victory for your team. And it's a victory for the Sheffield Steelers by 3-1 against the hosts, the Aalborg Pirates. A perfect start to their Challenge Cup campaign. Goals from DeLuca, Latal and Sointu into the empty net. And we'll be able to take a look back at the best of the third period action very shortly. But Ron Shudra, the Steelers couldn't have asked for anything more.
No, you couldn't. Like I said, you had to absorb an awful lot of pressure in your offensive or in your defensive zone. They did a great job at that, not allowing Aalborg to get that penetration and get into the scoring areas. And even when they did, Barry Brust was there. He made a couple of very, very good saves, like we said before, in a bit of the roundup, backdoor sliding, tracking the puck very, very well. We'll get a little look at the highlights here coming up, so we'll see exactly what happens. As there's a very good chance from Evan Mosey late on.
Yeah, we saw the Steelers have a couple of power play opportunities, well, 3 in fact, during the third period. They didn't have any through the first 2. This was the first one that they had. They weren't able to make any of them count, but they did put they just needed the time out of their own defensive zone as much as anything else.
Well, they did, and this obviously here, the 5-on-3, they were a little bit unlucky that they didn't score, but Aaron Fox does a good thing here. A little bit late in the game, let's say, a little bit, but I think it was 10 minutes left 14 minutes left in the third period. So they get the opportunities, a couple of good haymakers, but that was the biggest chance right there. I thought if that goes in off that back post, and I think that was it for Aalborg for the evening. But the chances were there, but they weren't the grade A ones. The same thing on the Aalborg 5-on-3. There wasn't an awful lot of big opportunities. And here's the goal. Everything's to the outside here, so it's a little bit of an interesting play. It just sort of gets, thrown around, and then just a half shot through, and right there on the back post, coming back out of the corner. I think, like you said, it went off the Sheffield defenseman and then onto the stick. And so from a nothing play where everything was to the outside, nothing really happened.
Was that a high stick? The officials decided it wasn't from Matthias Sointu. Dished on to Martin Lattel, and the Steelers retook the lead. It was Kirill Kabanov with the levelling goal. That was later confirmed, but it took a video review to confirm this one.
It did, for sure. I mean, from our vantage point, it's very, very difficult to see, but that's a great release and a nice little pass. The goalie has to respect the shooter there, and then just a little 6 or 8 foot pass, and it's on and off the tape, and it's gone, and it's in the back of the net.
And about the only real shot we saw of that type from that area of the ice all game.
It was, to be fair. You're absolutely right. So what they've got to do is they've just got to keep working for that. And Sheffield did a great job here. They boxed out here. You can see under 20 seconds to go. That's the one right there that makes a big save, and then he comes back quickly. A couple of good pushes, and then a little box out in front by Danielson, and no extra rebound. Right there, you can see the battle to the side of the net, not getting anything really, really too much towards the net, and then your empty net goal there and seals the deal with under a second to go.
Empty net goal from Matthias Sointu, and victory for the Sheffield Steelers. Loss of Brendan Connolly then is bad news for the Sheffield Steelers. A big news though, a big decision to be made in goal. Barry Brust, good performance tonight. We heard Aaron Fox say at the start of the programme that it would be a case of we'll play Barry Brust tonight and see where we go from there. Where do you think you will go from here?
Well, I think you go to your netminder and you ask him, how do you feel? How do you feel after playing today? How do you feel in the morning? Have a little discussion with them. I'm sure they're going to have that thing. It's a quick turnaround game. It's 10, 12, 14, 15 hours, what it is before the next game. It's not a full day's rest or a day and a half or whatever. So Barry Brust has to be very, very honest with his coach as well and say, man, I'm a little bit tired, or yeah, I am, or no, I am your number one. Put me in the net. I'll do my job.
Credit to the Steelers forwards then. Didn't generate many chances today, but the finishing was there when it needed to be. Quality shot from DeLuca, and then again from Lattel. Yeah,
2 fantastic shots. Like I say, top of the net. DeLuca coming off there. We've seen it time and time again. That little snap wrist shot that he has a fantastic release. And then again, Lattel with the quick one-time, accepted and let it go. There's no chance for the netminder on either one of those shots. And those were the only 2. Other than the other DeLuca one from the middle of the ice, again, there was not an awful lot of chances, no matter what the possession was for one side or the other. Aalborg had fantastic end zone play and moving the puck around, but when they did have an opportunity, they made the one extra pass, and they didn't get a shot on net. The 2-on-1, I think it was that we said before. Why not shoot the puck there? You're in a perfect position. You're between the top of the circles, inside the dots, hash marks. Take your chances on the netminder. Sure, it's a netminder in front of you, pretty big statured goalie. But you use your release and you beat him on that. Fantastic. You make a pass. You don't even get a shot on goal. So sometimes the decision making has to be more direct as opposed to trying to make the plays look very, very nice.
Let's look ahead then to tomorrow's game before we wrap up. It's a 14 group and the top 2 go through. 2 regulation wins is almost always enough to finish in the top 2. The Steelers have got a great opportunity tomorrow.
They do. They have to come out and do exactly the same thing. They know they're going to have to, soak up a lot of pressure. They have, depending on what happens with Connolly here, they're going to be short again. There's no one they can stick in the lineup. They've only got what they've got, unless you want to, put some normal out skaters on your backup netminder and say, get out there and throw out the shift. I don't think that's going to happen, but it'd be interesting to see if we can do it. But it's something they've got to do. They've got to be able to absorb pressure again, and obviously the intensity is just going to go up for the second game and the third game from the other teams, because obviously, like you say, they're fighting for those 2 spots. They need the wins. They need to get the points. So Sheffield have to get pucks to the net. They have to get in the way. They have to do what they can. Get stuck in, block shots, whatever you got to do to give the body up. You only got to win 1-0 at the end of the day.
Well, that is just about it from us here on Steelers TV Live. We thank you for spending your Friday afternoon and Friday evening with us. Join us again tomorrow. The Sheffield Steelers are back in action. We'll have all the best of it for you live, and we'll be great to have your company then. From Ron Shudra, this is Jonathan Fernley signing off. The Steelers are winners by 3-1, and that's got to be worth 15 quid of anybody's money.